Chapter 41:16. Ha ha ha, fellow Taoist son, no need for formalities. In the future you will know that the decision you made today is the best decision you have made in your life. Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh. Then he said, but the human heart is unpredictable, and people are fickle, so I won't just listen to your words of loyalty, but I need to take some practical actions. Hearing this, Sun Sadeo immediately raised his right hand. His palm faced the sky. I, Sun Sadeo, hereby swear that I am willing to follow you forever, loyal and devoted. If I have second thoughts, I will die a horrible death. After Sun Sadeo's oath, an oath rune was formed and imprinted in Sun Sadeo's mind. Then from now on, we are on the same side. Tomorrow, this young master will follow you to the Xian domain sect to meet the other emperor lords. Introduce the situation of the other experts of the Xian domain sect. Yes, young master, Sun Sadeo replied. Then he began to introduce. Other than me, there are 6 other emperor lords in the Xian domain sect. The strongest one is called Gongyang Zhamping, who is transformed from a great rock. This person is at the subimmortal realm. Hearing this, Lin Feng was surprised. The subimmortal realm is a transitional realm between the Emperor Lord realm and the itinerant immortal realm. Some people also call this realm the Supreme Realm. After a cultivator enters the subimmortal realm, they will make the final preparations to break through to the itinerant immortal realm. Generally speaking, after breaking through to the subimmortal realm, breaking through to the itinerant immortal realm in the future is a high probability event. However, nothing is absolute. The subimmortal realm needs to be well accumulated. Otherwise, breaking through to the itinerant immortal realm might fail. A subimmortal realm cultivator cannot be underestimated. Sun Sadeo continued. Among the other 5 emperor lords, Lu Tan-yi and Lu Tan-wan are at the peak of the emperor lord realm. Sima Chongshou is at the 9th layer of the emperor lord realm, Shuiren is at the 8th layer of the emperor lord realm, and Luo Haisin is at the 7th layer of the Emperor Lord realm. Not bad, not bad. This Xian domain sect's foundation is indeed much stronger than the other forces. Among these people, only the subimmortal Gongyang Zhamping is difficult to deal with. The rest are easy to deal with. Lin Feng couldn't help but say. Indeed. As for the rest, in Lin Feng's opinion, it was indeed not difficult to deal with. Since young master is personally taking action, it will naturally be a piece of cake. Sun Sadeo said respectfully. Lin Feng turned to Ning Longtian and said, Elder Ning, why don't you take fellow cultivator's son to rest first? Yes, young master, Ning Longtian responded. The next day, Lin Feng brought 20 Emperor Lord level experts and followed Sun Sadeo to the Xian domain entrance. The Mystic Domain Gate was located on the Mystic Underworld planet. This planet was the most lively planet in the Xian Domain star ocean other than planet Xian Domain. Lin Feng and the others used their transfiguration technique to change their appearances. This way, they wouldn't be afraid of being recognized by those who knew them. Under Sun Sadeo's lead, Lin Feng and the others successfully entered the Xian Domain Gate. Then, Sun Sadeo sent people to gather the other 6 monarch lords in the living room, saying that he had something important to discuss with them. Very soon, the 6 sovereign lords arrived one after another. When they arrived at the guest hall, they couldn't help but frown when they saw Lin Feng and the others. They didn't know why there were still these outsiders waiting in the living room when they were discussing something important. Gongyang Zhamping was a tall and sturdy but extremely thin old man. His aura was intimidating. He looked at Sun Sadeo and said, Junior brother Sun! What the hell are you doing? Senior brother Gongyang, let me introduce you to a big shot, Sun Sadeo said. Big shot? Gongyang Zhamping couldn't help but frown. Sun Sadeo pointed at Lin Feng and said, This young master is called Lin Feng. He is now the master of the Ning family, Murong family, Helian family, Situ family, and Xian Dao sect. There's such a thing? Gongyang Zhamping was shocked when he heard this. The rest of the people were also extremely shocked. Someone had actually subdued the 5 great powers and they didn't even know about it. This was a huge matter. Then, who are these people? Gong Yang Jumping pointed at the cultivators beside Lin Feng. He even felt a familiar aura from some of them. However, their appearances were different, so Gong Yang Jumping didn't dare to easily determine their identities. Fellow Taoist Gong Yang! How have you been? A chuckle was heard as Ning Zhongdao stood up, transformed into his own appearance, and then said with a smile. The rest of the people also used their transfiguration techniques to change their appearances. Gong Yang Jumping and the rest realized that these people were the sovereign lords of the 5 great powers. Now, they were here together. It seemed like what Sun Sadeo had said was true. And Ning Zhongdao had appeared here again. Obviously, the outside world had heard that the Ning family's patriarch's bloodline had been destroyed. This should be fake news. So it's fellow Taoist Ning and the rest of you? Gong Yang Jumping nodded. He looked at Lin Feng and asked, Fellow Taoist Lin, why have you come to my Xian domain sect? Lin Feng smiled and said, I'm here to recruit you. Recruit us? Gong Yang Jumping and the other 5 sovereign lords sneered. Sun Sadeo said, Senior brother Gong Yang, Lin Gongzi's cultivation is profound, and he's wise and powerful. In the future, he'll definitely be able to achieve great things. Now that the apocalypse is coming, we can only rely on someone like Lin Gongzi to survive the apocalypse. I hope senior brother can consider it carefully. Traitor. Gong Yang Jumping and the rest looked at Sun Sadeo coldly. After hearing Sun Sadeo's words, they knew that Sun Sadeo must have sided with Lin Feng. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such words. Sun Sadeo said, A wise man submits to circumstances. Senior brothers, junior brothers. Don't make the wrong choice, or you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Like you, becoming someone's slave? Gong Yang Jumping said sarcastically. You. Sun Sadeo's face suddenly became unsightly. At this time, Lin Feng said, I think Taoist Gong Yang has misunderstood. Taoist Sun has indeed sided with me, but I treat Taoist Sun as a friend, not a slave. If Taoist Gong Yang and the rest also side with me, I won't treat you badly. If you don't agree, then I'll have to take action today and convert you. What a vicious kid. Gong Yang Jumping said coldly. Gong Yang Jumping looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, Kid, I'm afraid you're far from enough. I'll kill you first, and the rest will be disintegrated in an instant. As soon as he finished speaking, Gong Yang Jumping waved his hand. A demonic sword flew out. That demonic sword was the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword. It was an ultimate true immortal treasure. Its power was unimaginable. Gong Yang Jumping held the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword and rushed towards Lin Feng. His speed was too fast, and in an instant, he arrived beside Lin Feng and stabbed his sword towards Lin Feng's chest. Chapter 41:17. Humph! How dare you attack me? Today, I'll let you know how powerful I am. Facing the attack of Gong Yang Jumping with the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword, Lin Feng's face suddenly showed a cold expression. Lin Feng waved his hand, and suddenly, more than a dozen powerful magic treasures flew out. Sky Drum, Black Dragon Sword, Hell King Bell, 4 stone swords, and other magic treasures all rushed towards Gong Yang Jumping. Many people were afraid of the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword. However, in Lin Feng's eyes, the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword was nothing because Lin Feng had many magic treasures, such as the Stone Sword, Hell King Bell, and other treasures, which were not inferior to the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword. More than a dozen powerful magic treasures rushed over. Facing the attack of so many magic treasures from Lin Feng, Gong Yang Jumping naturally did not dare to be careless. He quickly waved the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword in his hand to block the attack of Lin Feng's many magic treasures. Clang, 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 a series of collision sounds came out, and one magic treasure after another was blasted out. Gong Yang Jumping with the great Heaven Demon Slayer sword in his hand was still extremely terrifying. After all, Gong Yang Jumping was an expert of the sub-immortal realm. A cultivator of this level could fully exert the power of the magic treasures in his hand. "How dare you attack our young master, you're courting death, attack!" Situlehai shouted. A group of Emperor-level cultivators directly attacked. All kinds of powerful magic treasures were used. More than 20 people surrounded Gong Yang Jianping and the other 5 people. "Gong Yang Jianping! I know you're a subimmortal. But so what? In my eyes, a subimmortal is no different from an ant or a dog." Lin Feng looked at Gong Yang Jianping indifferently. "Boy, you're too arrogant. If you don't have these magic treasures and these subordinates, who do you think you are?" Gong Yang Jianping looked coldly at Lin Feng. Lin Feng said indifferently, "You're really short-sighted. Can an ordinary person subdue so many experts? Even if you're a subimmortal cultivator, it's still extremely difficult for you to defeat me. Then let's fight, and we'll know if what you said is true or false," Gong Yang Jianping said with a sneer. "What a joke! I have many experts under my command, why should I fight with you? Do you think you're qualified to fight me? Attack with all your might. We must take these people down," Lin Feng said. "Yes, I won't let you down." More than 20 monarch lords responded in unison. All kinds of powerful Dharma treasures and divine abilities were launched towards the 6 of them. Even though Gong Yang Jianping possessed the great Heaven Devil Slayer sword, an ultimate true immortal magic treasure, Gong Yang Jianping was still a true immortal magic treasure. However, this was a supreme treasure. In Lin Feng's opinion, there was no way to reverse the situation at all. Lin Feng's magic treasure was holding back this pinnacle true immortal magic treasure. After fighting for 15 minutes, one of the cultivators on the other side could no longer hold on, and was directly suppressed. "Those who believe in me shall have eternal life." Lin Feng pointed at the center of the monarch lord's eyebrows. The powerful purification power continuously surged into the monarch lord's mind. "Ah!" the monarch lord roared in anger. He kept struggling. Kept struggling. Kept struggling. However, no matter how he struggled, he couldn't resist Lin Feng's great purification. Lin Feng's great purification was simply too overbearing. "Subordinate pays his respects to young master." Not long after, the monarch lord was purified by Lin Feng, and his distorted face became serene. Then, this monarch lord. He bowed to Lin Feng. "All right, join the battlefield now," Lin Feng said. "Yes, young master," the monarch lord replied, and then joined the battlefield, participating in the great battle. The great battle erupted, and it was extremely intense. Soon, another monarch lord on the other side couldn't hold on, and was injured by the monarch lord on Lin Feng's side, and then suppressed. This was the disadvantage of fighting with fewer people. As time passed, the consumption of magic power would become greater and greater, and they would gradually be unable to hold on. Lin Feng successfully purified the second monarch lord. In the following period of time, Lin Feng also successfully purified the other 3 monarch lords. Now, only the subimmortal Gong Yang Jianping had not been purified by Lin Feng. Seeing 5 monarch lords being purified by Lin Feng one after another, Gong Yang Jianping was simply mad with hatred. "Brat, even if I have to risk my life today, I will let you die without a burial ground," Gong Yang Jianping roared angrily. His pair of eyes turned blood-red as he looked at Lin Feng, full of dense killing intent. Gong Yang Jianping jumped up. His body was burning fiercely. This guy was actually burning his own origin to increase his combat strength. Obviously, Gong Yang Jianping knew that he couldn't break out of the encirclement, so he was prepared to die. Before he died, he wanted to drag Lin Feng down with him. This guy was quite unyielding. Lin Feng admired Gong Yang Jianping a little more. One after another, powerful magic treasures attacked Gong Yang Jianping. However, the current Gong Yang Jianping's combat strength began to increase by leaps and bounds under the support of the burning of his origin. Gong Yang Jianping's combat strength had greatly increased, so when those powerful magic treasures attacked Gong Yang Jianping, they were all sent flying by Gong Yang Jianping's great Heaven Slayer sword. Gong Yang Jianping and his sword became one as they attacked Lin Feng. "Brat, go to hell!" Gong Yang Jiangping's cold voice suddenly resounded in the main hall. Not good! Young master, be careful! The monarch lords were shocked. They were too late to support Lin Feng, but when Gong Yang Jiangping's peerless sword was about to kill Lin Feng, swoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Feng disappeared without a trace. At the critical moment, Lin Feng used the heaven patching technique. He dodged Gong Yang Jiangping's peerless attack. However, Gong Yang Jiangping's sword pierced nothing. Lin Feng appeared behind Gong Yang Jiangping, and an illusory stone door appeared above his palm. That illusory stone door was the door of everlasting life's shadow that Lin Feng had imprinted. Lin Feng slapped Gong Yang Jiangping, and the door of everlasting life's shadow flew out. It fiercely suppressed Gong Yang Jiangping. Whoa! Gong Yang Jiangping was sent flying, and he vomited blood. His face became as pale as a sheet of paper. The monarch lords rushed forward, and used all kinds of methods to suppress Gong Yang Jiangping. Those who believe in me will have eternal life. Lin Feng was like an immortal god, and also like the emperor of the human race. He was surrounded by holy light as he stepped in front of Gong Yang Jiangping. Then, he pointed a finger at Gong Yang Jiangping's forehead. A large amount of purifying power flowed into Gong Yang Jiangping's mind. I'm not willing! Gong Yang Jiangping roared and struggled. However, it was useless. After 2 hours, Gong Yang Jiangping gave up struggling. He looked at Lin Feng with eyes full of reverence. Subordinate pays his respects to young master. Gong Yang Jiangping bowed to Lin Feng. This subimmortal expert was also purified by Lin Feng. Chapter 41:18. Dispense with the formalities. Lin Feng waved his hand, allowing him to stand up. Many thanks, young master, Gong Yang Jiangping said. Now, the quasi-immortal Gong Yang Jiangping has also been converted by Lin Feng. The number of peak experts under Lin Feng's command has increased from 25 to 31. This kind of formidable strength is enough to dominate the starry sky. The other factions in the Xian Domain Star Ocean probably have no way to resist now. Lin Feng used Gong Yang Jiangping's identity to issue an order. He ordered the Emperor Lord-level experts of the other factions to come to the Xian Domain Gate and hold an emergency meeting. The other factions received the notice one after another. After receiving the notice, the Emperor Lords of the other factions couldn't help but slightly frown. They don't know what the hell Gong Yang Jiangping is doing. Although they are puzzled. Thinking that they don't have any grudges with Gong Yang Jiangping wouldn't harm them. Furthermore, Gong Yang Jiangping is a quasi-immortal expert. They still have to give Gong Yang Jiangping face. If they don't give Gong Yang Jiangping face, wouldn't that offend Gong Yang Jiangping? If they offend an expert like Gong Yang Jiangping, at that time, they wouldn't have a good time. Therefore, the group of Emperor Lord-level experts all came to the Xian Domain Gate with the principle of not offending Gong Yang Jiangping. After arriving at the Xian Domain Gate, they were arranged to stay. Some Emperor Lords wanted to inquire the Xian Domain Gate cultivators about the purpose of Gong Yang Jiangping's gathering. However, the Xian Domain Gate cultivators are tight-lipped. Therefore, those Emperor Lord-level cultivators were unable to get anything out of them. After all the Emperor Lords arrived, Gong Yang Jiangping informed everyone to go to the living room for a meeting. A servant led everyone to the living room. When everyone arrived at the living room, they discovered that there are already many people sitting there. What shocked everyone is that they actually saw Ning family heads Ning Zhongdao. This time, Ning family heads Ning Zongshan is overseeing the family. Ning Zhongdao came out with Lin Feng. However, in the eyes of many people, Ning Zhongdao should be a dead person. Why would Ning Zhongdao appear here? Therefore, everyone is extremely puzzled when they saw Ning Zhongdao. However, no one said a word. No matter why Ning Zhongdao didn't die, the forces they belonged to didn't participate in the annihilation of the Ning family head's bloodline. Even if Ning Zhongdao didn't die, he wouldn't target them. At most, he could only blame them for not supporting the Ning clan leader's bloodline. However, Ning Longtian had the support of Xian Domain's son Sadeo. Presumably, Ning Zhongdao could also understand their difficulties. Everyone, please have a seat. Gong Yang Jiangping smiled and said. Everyone found a place to sit down. Then, they all looked at Gong Yang Jiangping and waited for him to speak. At this time, Gong Yang Jiangping said, The reason why I invited you here is because I want to introduce a person to you. Introduce someone? Everyone was puzzled as they looked at Gong Yang Jiangping. Who was he introducing? How could they be so heavy-handed? Yes, Gong Yang Jiangping said. Then, he pointed at Lin Feng, who was sitting in the first seat on the left, and said, This is Lin Feng, Lin Gongzi. He is the new friend that I would like to introduce to everyone. Lin Feng? This kid is called Lin Feng? I remember that the Murong clan was looking for someone called Lin Feng? Is this kid related to the Lin Feng that the Murong clan is looking for? An Emperor Realm cultivator couldn't help but ask. Lin Feng said, What a coincidence. I am the person that the Murong clan is looking for. However, the Murong clan has already submitted to me. There's such a thing? The group of Emperor Realm cultivators looked at each other in dismay. They simply couldn't believe what they had just heard. The Murong clan had 5 Emperor Realm cultivators. They actually submitted to Lin Feng, a young human cultivator? Was this a joke? However, look at Lin Feng's expression. This wasn't a joke. Everyone looked at the Emperor Realm cultivators of the Murong clan. They noticed that the Emperor Realm cultivators of the Murong clan were looking at Lin Feng with incomparable respect. It seemed that Lin Feng was telling the truth. It's not just the Murong clan that has submitted to me. Even the Xian Domain sect, Xian Dao sect, Ning clan, Hellion clan, and Sita clan have all submitted to me. Now, among the great powers of the Xian Domain Star Ocean, only the 6 great powers have yet to submit to me. Lin Feng continued. His words were like a sudden clap of thunder that shocked everyone. Everyone's face couldn't help but reveal a deep shock. They simply couldn't believe their ears. The 6 great powers. Even the Xian Domain sect, which had a sub-immortal. They had all been subdued by a young human cultivator. This was too inconceivable. It sounded too inconceivable. No one would believe it if they heard such words. However, no one refuted Lin Feng's words. Moreover, everyone noticed that the experts of the 6 great powers were extremely respectful towards Lin Feng. What did this mean? What did this mean? What did this mean? This meant everything that Lin Feng had said was true. These Emperor Realm cultivators couldn't imagine how a young human cultivator like Lin Feng could subdue the 6 great powers. It was like something out of a fairy tale. However, it actually happened beside them. Gong Yang Jiangping said, The young master thinks highly of you, that's why he accepted you. I hope you won't disappoint the young master. These Emperor Realm cultivators couldn't help but reveal a bitter smile. In the mortal world, Emperor Realm cultivators already stood at the peak of cultivation. They were high and mighty, looking down on all living things. Who dared to look down on them? But today, someone wanted to subdue them. It was actually someone else who thought highly of them. It was really ironic. But the Emperor Realm cultivators didn't dare to refute. They didn't have any understanding of Lin Feng, but so many Emperor Realm cultivators and even sub-immortals had submitted to Lin Feng. This was enough to show how terrifying Lin Feng was. Now, did they have any other choice? Either submit or refuse. If they refused, the other party would definitely not let them leave so easily. Therefore, the only real choice seemed to be to submit. These Emperor Realm cultivators couldn't help but smile bitterly. They had never thought that, one day, they would actually submit to someone else and listen to their orders. Those who are willing to follow me, make an oath. Lin Feng's gaze swept across the group of Emperor Realm cultivators as he said indifferently. Being looked at by Lin Feng, those Emperor Realm cultivators all felt a suffocating pressure. This was the mental pressure that Lin Feng brought to them. I'm willing to submit. The Emperor Realm Master of the Xuanxing sect, Song Zishu, was the first to stand up. Then, he knelt on one knee on the ground and lowered his proud head to Lin Feng. Chapter 41:19. Since the first one chose to submit, there will be a second one. Then one by one, the cultivators knelt on the ground, expressing their willingness to submit to Lin Feng. There are a total of 20 Emperor Lords from the 6 factions. Including these 20 people, Lin Feng has a total of 51 Emperor Lords under his command. This is truly a shocking force. Swear the oath. Let the young master see your sincerity, Gong Yang Jianping said. We are willing to swear the oath with our souls. From now on, we will be loyal to young master Lin Feng. If we dare to have any disloyalty, we will die a horrible death. The 20 Emperor Lords swore the oath one after another. After the oath was spoken, the oath runes formed and imprinted in their minds. Very good. Today, you will all submit to me. In the future, you will all rejoice in the choice you made today, Lin Feng said. We will definitely swear our loyalty to young master. The group of Emperor Lords said one after another. This feeling of holding great power is really good. No wonder so many people like to be above others. No wonder so many people want to fight for power, scheme against each other, and kill each other. Perhaps each of them. In their heart, they all want to be able to hold great power. To become an existence revered by countless people. Xian Domain Star Ocean is going to establish a Starry Sky Empire. This Starry Sky Empire. It will be called Xian Domain Empire, Lin Feng said. Subordinate greets your majesty. The great emperors all bowed respectfully to Lin Feng. Lin Feng said, Don't call me that. I will not be the emperor of Xian Domain Empire. If young master doesn't become the emperor, who is qualified to be the emperor? Gong Yang Jianping said. Lin Feng smiled faintly and said, It is just a Starry Sky Empire. I have already established more than one such faction. I will carefully consider who will be the first emperor of Xian Domain Empire. Yes. Everyone quickly replied. In their hearts, it was as if monstrous waves were set off. Because they realized that they knew too little about Lin Feng. Although Lin Feng was their master now, Lin Feng was shrouded in too many mysteries. Especially now that he knew that Lin Feng had established more than one Starry Sky Empire. This made them even more shocked. These people felt that Lin Feng might be plotting something big. However, they did not know what Lin Feng was plotting. In the following period of time, the main planet of the Xian Domain Star Sea, Xian Domain Star, started a large-scale construction. In a short span of 3 months, a huge city rose from the ground. In the depths of the city, a dazzling palace was built. Everyone is paying attention to what is happening on planet Xian Domain. Everyone is very puzzled, they don't know who built that ancient city. When the ancient city was completely built, news quickly spread. 1 sect, 3 sects, and 8 clans of the Xian Domain Star Ocean worked together to build this ancient city. From then on, the Xian Domain Star Ocean established the Starry Sky Empire. This Starry Sky Empire is called the Mysterious Domain Empire. When the news spread, countless people were shocked. Because 1 sect, 3 sects and 8 families are on guard against each other. It is impossible for these forces to unite. But now, these forces are actually united and even established the Mysterious Domain Empire. This is too inconceivable, right? Many people felt that this matter is full of peculiarities. Not long after, another news spread, saying that the Mysterious Domain Star sees 1 sect, 3 sects, and 8 families have all pledged allegiance to a mysterious young master. This matter caused a huge uproar. 1 sect, 3 sects and 8 families are such powerful forces, but they actually pledged allegiance to someone else? What kind of person can actually subdue these powerful forces? This is simply inconceivable. Huge waves were set off in everyone's heart. Everyone is discussing this matter. Very soon, the Mysterious Domain Empire issued the first Imperial Edict. The contents of the Imperial Edict are as follows. Murong Yuechan will be the first Empress of the Mysterious Domain Empire. At the same time, 1 sect, 3 sects and 8 families will form an elder group. Every force will have 1 expert join the elder group. The establishment of the elder group is to restrain the Empress's authority. If there is a major decision, the elder group and the Empress will discuss it and decide how to deal with it. Murong Yuechan being the first empress of the mysterious domain empire is Lin Feng's decision after careful consideration. Lin Feng has the following requirements to find the leader of the mysterious domain empire. First, they must be absolutely loyal to him. The number of people who meet the first requirement is not small. Second, they must have a close relationship with him. This point eliminates a lot of people. This is Lin Feng's selfishness. He likes to train his woman to be the leader of the forces he established. Originally, Lin Feng intended to let Guan Guan be the first empress. But Guan Guan has no interest in being the first empress. Then, Lin Feng can only choose other people. Lin Feng can still choose two people. One is Murong Yuechan and the other is Murong Yuer. Murong Yuer's character is weak and not suitable to be the empress. Murong Yuechan's character is strong and decisive. Moreover, she is keen on power. It is more suitable for her to be the first empress. If Lin Feng leaves the mysterious domain Star Ocean, Murong Yuechan will be able to govern the mysterious domain empire in an orderly manner. Moreover, with Murong Yuechan's character, she will definitely do her best to strengthen the mysterious domain empire. Therefore, Lin Feng finally decided to let Murong Yuechan be the first empress of the mysterious domain empire. The mysterious domain empire held a grand coronation ceremony for Murong Yuechan. Under the gaze of countless people, Murong Yuechan was crowned as the first empress of the mysterious domain empire. The matters of the mysterious domain empire are more or less settled. Lin Feng also plans to leave. On this day, the starry sky world split open. An ancient ship flew into the starry sky world. This ancient ship is emitting an incomparably evil aura. The cultivators on this ancient ship are incomparably evil, terrifying and gloomy. The ship of curse. This ancient ship is actually the ship of curse. At this moment, the ship of curse is heading towards the direction of the mysterious domain Star Ocean. When Lin Feng became an emperor, many curses came and almost caused Lin Feng to nurse a grievance. Fortunately, Lin Feng repelled many curses. Since then, many curses never appeared again. However, after many years, one of the curses, the ship of curse, appeared again. The captain of the ship of curse stood on the bow and looked towards the direction of the mysterious domain Star Ocean. GGG, Lin Feng, this little bastard, this time he is dead for sure. Grandpa Martin laughed sinisterly. The captain of the ship of curse looked at Grandpa Martin with some disgust. However, he did not say anything. 10 days later, the boat of curse landed outside the Xian Domain Empire's imperial city. Chapter 41:20. The aura of the boat of curse. Lin Feng, who was cultivating in seclusion, suddenly opened his eyes. He could not help but look outside and murmured. The boat of curse had appeared several times, so he was very familiar with the aura of the boat of curse. Therefore, when the boat of curse arrived, Lin Feng instantly sensed it. Swoosh! There was a flash of light. Lin Feng disappeared from the secret chamber. When he reappeared, he was already outside the ancient city. The boat of curse was suspended in the void. The creatures on the boat of curse were standing on the deck, looking at Lin Feng. Many cultivators passed by outside the ancient city. When they saw the boat of curse, they pointed at it. Swoosh! 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 Many figures flew out, except for Murong Yuechan, who was guarding the imperial city. The rest of the sovereigns also flew out. Young master! Many disciples bowed to Lin Feng. Many people were shocked. Someone said, "Who is that young cultivator? Could it be that person from the rumors? The person who subdued 1 sect, 3 sects, and 8 great clans?" Many cultivators could not help but widen their eyes. They also thought of that legendary person. At this moment, they were shocked to see this legendary person. "You may dispense with the formalities." Lin Feng waved his hand. "Is this the legendary boat of curse?" Murong Yue said. She had heard about the boat of curse from Murong Yuechan before. The 2 Shi ancient coin was a cursed item that would attract the boat of curse. "What? The boat of curse? That's a cursed ship from the legends. Why would a cursed ship appear here? Some sovereigns could not help but exclaim. It's here for me, Lin Feng said. Hearing that, the expressions of those who did not know the inside story changed. Only the people from the Murong clan knew about this matter. Lin Feng! Get on the boat! The captain of the boat of curse looked at Lin Feng. Young master! You must not board the boat. Once you board the boat, I'm afraid you won't be able to come down, Gong Yang Jianping said. It's fine. Lin Feng waved his hand. Then he flew toward the boat of curse. Take him down! Take this brat down! Seeing that Lin Feng had boarded the boat of curse, Grandpa Martin screamed. When the captain of the boat of curse was dealing with Lin Feng, Grandpa Martin died on the boat of curse and became a spirit on the boat of curse. He could never leave the boat of curse. Grandpa Martin's hatred for Lin Feng could be said to be monstrous. He couldn't wait to eat Lin Feng's flesh and drink Lin Feng's blood. Now that he saw Lin Feng boarding the boat of curse, he was extremely excited. However, the creatures on the boat of curse did not listen to Grandpa Martin's orders. They only obeyed the captain of the cursed ship. Lin Feng looked at Grandpa Martin with an indifferent expression. With a flick of his finger, a ball of heavenly fire flew out. It wrapped around Grandpa Martin. The heavenly fire burned fiercely. Ah, brat, you're too presumptuous. How dare you burn me with the heavenly fire? You'll die a horrible death. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and capture this brat. Grandpa Martin roared furiously. However, no one cared about Grandpa Martin. Old man, you were vicious when you were alive and you're still so vicious after you're dead. I'll let you have a taste of the pain of being burned by the heavenly fire, Lin Feng said indifferently. The heavenly fire burned fiercely and Grandpa Martin was in more pain. It was a fate worse than death. Captain, save me! Grandpa Martin looked at the captain of the boat of curse with pleading eyes. However, the captain of the boat of curse ignored Grandpa Martin. In the end, Grandpa Martin was burned to ashes. However, Grandpa Martin was reborn soon. Even if the creatures on the boat of curse died, they would be reborn on the boat of curse. This time, Grandpa Martin was more obedient. Although Grandpa Martin still hated Lin Feng to the core. However, he did not dare to provoke Lin Feng again. He did not have a high position on the boat of curse. You've got guts! How dare you board the boat of curse? The captain of the boat of curse narrowed his eyes and looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng touched the hull of the boat of curse and a strong curse power flowed into Lin Feng's body. However, Lin Feng devoured and absorbed all of it. Lin Feng said, When I board the boat of curse again, my feelings are extremely different. The first time Lin Feng boarded the boat of curse, he was caught by the captain of the boat of curse. Fortunately, the Red World Fairy stepped in and saved Lin Feng. However, this time, Lin Feng walked up on his own. At that time, Lin Feng was still very weak. Now, Lin Feng was strong enough. Feelings are different. No matter how strong you are, once you board the boat of curse, you won't be able to get off, the captain of the boat of curse said. That's an exception for those who have cultivated the great fate art. Fate counters curses, Lin Feng said. The captain narrowed his eyes at Lin Feng and said, So, you've cultivated the great fate art? Aren't you the same? If you've also cultivated the great fate art, why don't you get off the boat? Or is it because the boat of curse has different restrictions on you compared to others? Is that why you can't get off the boat even if you've cultivated the great fate art? Said Lin Feng to the captain of the boat of curses. Don't make guesses or jump to conclusions, the captain said with narrowed eyes. Lin Feng asked calmly, Why are you looking for me? In truth, the reason Lin Feng had boarded the boat of curse without hesitation was because he did not sense any hostility from the captain. Clearly, the captain was not here to kill him. Instead, he had another goal. The captain of the boat of curses said, If I'm not mistaken, the Xianming demonic book should be with you, right? The Xianming demonic book? You can sense the treasure's aura? Lin Feng was surprised. The Xianming demonic book was a treasure that Lin Feng had obtained long ago. There were hundreds of ancient words imprinted on it. Those words were the word Tao. If one could comprehend the words, they would benefit immensely. Lin Feng had comprehended some of the words, but there were many that he had failed to comprehend. Lin Feng did not expect the captain to be able to sense the Xianming demonic book's aura. This guy's means were truly terrifying. I have my own way of sensing the Xianming demonic book's aura. I'm here to cooperate with you. Cooperate with me? Cooperate with what? Lin Feng looked at the captain of the boat of curses suspiciously. The captain was his sworn enemy. Now that the captain was here to cooperate with him, Lin Feng found it strange. Do you know the secret of the Xianming demonic book? Asked the captain of the boat of curses. Lin Feng said without batting an eyelid. The secret of the Xianming demonic book? I'm not sure, but I heard that this treasure was forged by a powerhouse known as the Xianming demonic emperor during the era of conferred gods. Chapter 41-21. I know the Dark Nether Demonic Emperor. He's a powerful figure in the demonic path, but the Dark Nether Demonic Book wasn't created by him. The Dark Nether Demonic Emperor only obtained the Dark Nether Demonic Book and comprehended some of its secrets. That's how he became a titled god. Many people know that the Dark Nether Demonic Emperor rose to power because of the Dark Nether Demonic Book, so there are rumors saying that the Dark Nether Demonic Book was created by him. The captain of the boat of curses said. Oh? There's such a thing? Lin Feng was extremely surprised. He didn't doubt the captain's words, but he was surprised that some of the rumors about the Dark Nether Demonic Book were false. It seemed that too many rumors in the world were false, which eventually led to false information. The Dark Nether Demonic Book was one such rumor. What's the origin of the Dark Nether Demonic Book? Lin Feng asked curiously. The Dark Nether Demonic Book hid a huge secret. It was definitely an amazing treasure, and its origin was obviously extraordinary. Lin Feng felt that the captain of the boat of curses should know the origin of the Dark Nether Demonic Book. The Dark Nether Demonic Book is very ancient. It's said that it was created by a group of demons. This rumor is more believable. Created by a group of demons? Who are these demons you're talking about? Lin Feng asked curiously. A very ancient demon. Perhaps it's an innate demon, or perhaps it's one of the earliest human demons, the captain of the boat of curses said with a frown. He wasn't completely sure about the origin of the Dark Nether Demonic Book. The judgment he made was only a speculation based on some rumors. The innate demons he mentioned were similar to the innate lifeforms. They were both born from heaven and earth. They were the earliest lifeforms in the world. As for the human demons, they were the first human cultivators to enter the demonic path. For example, some demon lords were the strongest lifeforms among the human demons. Lin Feng frowned. The Dark Nether Demonic Book was really strange. It had been passed down for so long, but there were no clues as to who created it. This made Lin Feng feel somewhat regretful. Some time ago, when I was passing through a sea of stars, I discovered a mysterious place in the depths of the sea of stars. Rumor has it that it's the place where immortals and demons fell, the boat of curse said. Lin Feng did not interrupt. Instead, he listened carefully. Since the captain of the boat of curses had mentioned the Xianming demonic book, Lin Feng would not be surprised. Lin Feng guessed that the place where the immortal demon fell might have something to do with the Xianming demonic book. Rumor has it that many immortals and devils are buried there. That was the first time immortals and devils died in a great battle since the start of the epic, the captain of the boat of curse said. Oh? Doesn't that mean that those existences are basically all sentient lifeforms? Lin Feng said in surprise. I think so. The captain of the boat of curse nodded. This epic has experienced many calamities. When was the first large-scale war? Lin Feng asked curiously. As for these secrets, he knew nothing about them. The captain of the boat of curse said. From the earliest primordial age to the epoch of creation, then to the primordial age, absolute beginning, and so on. Those living beings are still living in peace. I read some things about the absolute beginning era in a Taoist scripture. It said that at the end of the absolute beginning era, Scientian lifeforms were already very powerful. In addition, there were many other Hotian races. Between heaven and earth, the rules of the great Tao were gradually perfected, and the new epoch shone with powerful vitality. At that time, the survivors of the previous epoch who were lucky enough to survive the destruction of the previous epoch had completely recovered after a few eras of recuperation. The last thing they wanted to see was the rise of the races in the new epoch. It was said that this would weaken their strength. Therefore, I guess the first great battle was at the end of the absolute beginning era. Are there any historical records about the great battle at the end of the absolute beginning era? Lin Feng asked. I haven't found any specific historical records. This is just my speculation, but I think it should be close to the mark. The captain of the boat of curse said. That battle. The Scientian lifeforms of the new epoch were also very powerful. The battle with the survivors of the previous epoch must have been very tragic. Is the place where the immortals and demons are buried one of the ancient battlefields? Lin Feng asked curiously. Yes. It's one of the ancient battlefields. It used to be very large, but it was later destroyed. After that, the ancient battlefields were scattered all over the universe. Among the many corners of the starry sky world, the one that appeared recently is a relatively large one. The captain of the boat of curse said. Since you've found that place, why don't you just go and explore it? Why did you come to me? Lin Feng asked, puzzled. He felt that the captain of the boat of curse must have some other purpose, but he didn't know what it was. Perhaps it had something to do with the Xianming demonic book, but what could the book help him with? The captain of the boat of curse said, Ordinary magic treasures and even cultivation resources are of no use to me. I have been cursed for too many years. Only some special things can work on me. I heard that a certain Scientian demon among the devils had something that was very useful to the outside world, but I don't know where the Scientian demon's body is buried. So I need something to help me find the burial place of the Scientian demon. At present, I can only think of the Xianming demonic book. Why don't you cooperate with me? We'll explore that place together. During this period, I won't do anything to you. If you enter that place, you'll definitely find many opportunities. After hearing the captain's words, Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. He was indeed a little tempted, because that place was too unique. Perhaps he could really find some amazing opportunities there. If that was the case, it would be very beneficial to him. Previously, Lin Feng had been thinking about leaving the Xian domain starry sky. Now, the captain of the boat of curse said something that piqued Lin Feng's interest. Lin Feng planned to leave the Xian domain starry sky. Lin Feng was quite relieved to leave the Xian domain starry sky to Murong Yuechan. All right. Give me a day to deal with the matters in the Xian domain starry sky. We'll set off tomorrow, Lin Feng said. No problem. The captain of the boat of curse nodded. Lin Feng flew down from the boat of curse and returned to the imperial city with everyone. Chapter 41-22. After learning that Lin Feng was going to leave, the sovereigns were very surprised. However, as subordinates, they naturally could not persuade Lin Feng to stay here. Moreover, they also knew that Lin Feng was going through the starry sky, and he was only passing by the Xian domain. At the same time, he would unify the Xian domain and establish the Xian domain empire. Gong Yangjiamping and the others wanted to leave with Lin Feng, but Lin Feng told them to stay here and continue recruiting. At the same time, they began to build a temple for him. After that, Lin Feng explained the path that the Xian domain empire would take after he left. For a starry sky empire to become stronger and stronger, it did not only depend on the number of experts in the empire. It also depended on the policies of the starry sky empire. Lin Feng was very experienced in this. He came up with a perfect development plan for the Xian domain empire. Lin Feng hoped that the Xian domain empire could become stronger and help him in the future. Hearing that Lin Feng was going to leave, Guan Guan was naturally very reluctant. However, this demoness knew that if she wanted to keep a man's heart, she did not have to force him to stay. Instead, she had to let this man do what he wanted to do. The next day, the sovereign sent Lin Feng out of the city. Lin Feng boarded the ship of curses. Swoosh! The ship of curses turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Lin Feng came to the cabin of the ship of curses. The captain of the ship of curses poured a cup of tea for Lin Feng. The tea leaves of the Enlightenment ancient tea tree were obtained by me in the past. You can try it, said the captain of the ship of curses. I heard that the people on the ship of curses only feel pain. They can't breathe, drink, or eat. Why? Do you still drink tea? Lin Feng couldn't help but say. This guy directly opened the captain's scar. The captain of the boat of curse said, Usually, I won't use the Enlightenment ancient tea leaves to make tea because it's too wasteful. However, I will use other immortal teas to make tea. I will drink and eat. Although it will make me extremely painful, I am willing to bear this pain. I want to remember this pain. This pain urges me. No matter how difficult it is, I have to restore my flesh and blood again. I have to work hard to make myself a normal person, Lin Feng said. Then you're really miserable. Unfortunately, there are many people who don't cherish their lives. A bunch of ignorant and stupid people, said the captain of the boat of curse. Lin Feng took a sip of the tea and felt its fragrance lingering in his mouth. As expected of the Enlightenment ancient tea leaves, the captain of the boat of curse arranged a residence for Lin Feng. Lin Feng sat cross-legged. Powerful curse energy was roaming around the cabin. The curse energy here seemed to have a life of its own. Lin Feng bent his finger and flicked it. He condensed some curse energy, and then gently tapped on the boat of curse. Suddenly runes appeared. Looking at the densely packed runes, Lin Feng's face revealed a shocked expression. Those runes were all curse runes. My great curse technique has always been stuck at the major completion level. I wonder if I can increase the power of my great curse technique here? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. The great curse art was one of the most bizarre divine abilities among the 3,000 great Das. It was an extremely heaven-defying divine ability. The curse doll's various curse arts were all cultivated with the great curse art as the foundation. Moreover, the cursed doll's curse arts were extremely terrifying. Lin Feng hadn't been able to do that because he hadn't studied the great cursing technique to a very high level yet. If he had, then he would have been able to rely on the great cursing technique, which was one of the 3,000 great cursing techniques, and he would have been able to rely on it a lot. Lin Feng sat cross-legged and began to absorb the curse energy on the boat of curse. He couldn't improve his great curse art. Lin Feng felt that the curse energy on the boat of curse was rather strange. Perhaps it could help him greatly increase the power of the great curse art. While Lin Feng was cultivating, some powerful beings on the boat of curse gathered in the cabin. Captain, that kid has already boarded the boat. Why don't we change our course? He has the last 2 Shi ancient coin on him. Let's take him to the 2 Shi immortal kingdom and kill him. Then we'll regain our freedom. That's right. That's a good idea. I want to breathe in fresh air again. I want to taste food and water. I want to experience what it's like to be a woman, another living being said. The rest of the living beings also began to shout. They couldn't wait to regain their freedom. They had been cursed by the boat of curse for so long. It was truly painful. Perhaps it would be more appropriate to describe their daily lives as being in so much pain that they wished they were dead. Only after becoming a living being like them who lived in eternal pain. Only then would they realize how blissful it was to have a normal body and a normal life. Since I promised him that I wouldn't do anything to him, I won't do anything to him, the captain of the boat of curse said in a deep voice. Captain, we don't have many chances to deal with this kid. Especially when he's getting stronger and stronger. It's getting harder to deal with him. If we don't deal with him now, we might not have another chance to deal with him in the future. Captain, please reconsider, one of the living beings said. Captain, please reconsider. Many of the living beings cupped their fists and pleaded. Humph. Do you want me to be a person who doesn't keep my word? If you try to persuade me again, I'll destroy all of you. the captain of the boat of curse said coldly. Those living beings immediately kept quiet out of fear. They didn't dare to say anything else. In the room, Lin Feng's body had accumulated a large amount of curse energy. Cursed God! Cursed God! Suddenly, a deep voice sounded in Lin Feng's mind. Lin Feng realized that a godly spirit was born from the curse energy that he had absorbed into his body. That godly spirit was extremely evil. The aura on its body was extremely terrifying. That living being was a living being born from the curse. It wielded the power of the curse energy. I'm going to curse you and turn you into a slave of the curse. The cursed god laughed sinisterly. Then, it began to move around Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng said coldly, What a joke! You want to curse me? Who do you think you are? I'll refine you now! As soon as he finished speaking, the 5 heavenly fires in Lin Feng's body surged toward the cursed god. Chapter 41-23. The power of the 5 heavenly flames was too strong. After they wrapped around the cursed true god screamed as he was burned. The cursed true god was filled with hatred. He roared angrily. Brat, you dare to burn me? You're courting death. I'll curse you right now. I curse you. You'll become an undead spirit on the boat of curses forever. I curse you to die a horrible death. Lin Feng sneered and said, With your abilities, what's the use of curses? In front of me, you're just an ant and a dog. You can't even withstand a single blow. After he said that, the heavenly flames burned even brighter. Chi 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 chi. The heavenly flames kept burning the cursed true god. The cursed true god let out a blood-curdling scream. The power of the heavenly flames was too terrifying. The cursed true god couldn't withstand the burning of the 5 heavenly flames at all. The cursed true god's body kept turning illusory. It kept turning illusory. Not long later, the cursed true god was burned. After seeing the cursed true god being burned by the heavenly flames, Lin Feng continued to refine the power of curses in his body. As the power of curses was refined by Lin Feng into the purest form of energy, the energy was all devoured by Lin Feng's great curse art. After the great curse art devoured the power of curses, the power of the great curse art became stronger and stronger. Lin Feng could clearly feel the magical changes of the great curse art. The changes of the great curse art made Lin Feng very happy. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Feng's great curse art finally improved from the great success stage to the great perfection stage. Lin Feng continued to cultivate and absorb the power of curses in the boat of curses. His great curse art continued to improve. Finally, Lin Feng's great curse art broke through to the great perfection stage. The great curse art formed a divine ability array that contained the power of lightning. The power of lightning intertwined in the void. Each bolt of lightning contained the power to distort time and space. The power of lightning above the divine ability array was a sign that the great perfection stage had been cultivated. Lin Feng was very satisfied with this closed-door training. He walked out of the room. At this moment, it was night. The boat of curse was flying quickly in the starry sky world. Seeing Lin Feng come out, the creatures on the boat of curse looked at Lin Feng gloomily. They were all looking at Lin Feng with malicious eyes. If it weren't for the captain's orders, those creatures would have already attacked Lin Feng. Damn it! What are you looking at? If you keep looking, I'll gouge your eyes out, Lin Feng said viciously to the creatures on the boat of curse. His attitude was extremely arrogant. Brat, you're courting death! The eyes of one of the creatures flickered with dense killing intent. Unable to bear it any longer, he roared and charged at Lin Feng. Lin Feng swung his fist at the creature. This creature was not Lin Feng's opponent at all, and was sent flying by Lin Feng's punch. His body flew out of the boat of curse. Chi! 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 The creature's body began to burn violently. He let out an incomparably shrill scream, and his body instantly turned into a skeleton. This was his true body. Now, their flesh and blood bodies were not real. They were just illusions created by the captain of the boat of curse. The creature wanted to return to the boat of curse, but his body burned into ashes in midair. He didn't come back to life, someone said with a trembling voice. The one who had been punched away by Lin Feng died outside the boat of curses. The legend is true. We can't leave the boat of curse. Then, another creature on the boat of curse said. In fact, there were people who tried to leave the boat of curse. However, when they thought of the curse on the boat of curse, they did not dare to move. Now that someone had left the boat of curse's range, they died immediately. Even if the creatures on the boat of curse had to suffer a fate worse than death, they didn't want to be annihilated. They would rather endure the torment so that they could be reborn one day in the future. They were waiting for this opportunity to come. You've gone overboard by attacking me on my boat! The captain of the boat of curse walked over and looked at Lin Feng with a gloomy expression. Grandpa Martin said, Captain, this guy is too arrogant. He doesn't take you seriously at all. Grandpa Martin was fanning the flames again. Get lost! The captain of the boat of curse slapped Grandpa Martin and sent him flying. Lin Feng said calmly, That guy attacked me first. I was just defending myself. Who knew that guy was so weak? Then someone said, Kid, you were the one who provoked us first. Are you worthy of being provoked by me? A bunch of trash. Lin Feng pursed his lips. The creatures on the boat of curse were so angry that their mouths were about to pop out of their sockets because of Lin Feng. They had seen arrogant people before. They had never seen someone as arrogant as Lin Feng. Everyone, restrain yourselves, the captain of the boat of curse said coldly. He could use Lin Feng now, so he suppressed the anger in his heart. Lin Feng shrugged and said, Keep your trash in check and there won't be any more conflicts. I hate the way they look at me. Many people were speechless. Was it illegal to look at you? Lin Feng walked toward the deck, ignoring the others. How long until we reach that sea of stars? Lin Feng asked. Soon. I estimate that it will take at most half a month, the captain of the boat of curse said. What's the name of that sea of stars? Lin Feng asked. The immortal burial sea, the captain of the boat of curse said. Isn't it where immortals and demons are buried? Why is it called the immortal burial sea? I think it's more appropriate to call it the immortal burial sea and demon sea, Lin Feng said. The captain of the boat of curse said, Rumor has it that the cultivators who sealed the battlefield were several celestial supremacies of the immortal Tao. Immortals and demons have always been at odds with each other. Since the ancient battlefield was sealed by several celestial supremacies, it's normal for them to name it the immortal burial sea. They don't want to have anything to do with demons. These ancient people seem to be very stubborn. What is an immortal? What is a demon? In my opinion, the standard to judge immortals and demons should be the human heart, not the cultivation technique they cultivate, Lin Feng said. Many people understand what you're saying, but immortals and demons are still at odds with each other. Do you know why? Why? Lin Feng asked. Chapter 41-24. After hearing the captain's words, Lin Feng could not help but ponder. What the captain of the boat of curse said made sense. Lin Feng said, Death comes from peace and happiness. Birth comes from suffering. Only enemies can stimulate one's potential and make one continue to improve. Therefore, the reason why the immortals and demons are at odds with each other is because of the top experts of the immortal path and the demon path. That's right. The captain nodded and said, They're the only ones who can make all of this happen. The others obviously don't have the ability to do so. It seems like there's something behind everything in the world that no one knows. Lin Feng sighed. Originally, the captain estimated that it would take about half a month to reach the celestial burial star sea. However, it did not take that long at all. 10 days later, they arrived at the celestial burial star sea. Looking from the outside, the celestial burial star sea was enveloped by the tumbling death energy. The death energy was extremely terrifying. Ordinary cultivators could not withstand the damage caused by the death energy at all. If they entered rashly, they would definitely die. But for Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses, the death strength was a great supplement. It would not be able to cause any harm to them at all if they absorbed the power of death. If they absorbed the death energy, their strength would increase tremendously. The ship stopped outside the celestial burial star sea. The captain said, "Let's go in together." Lin Feng asked curiously, "Won't the boat of curses go inside?" "No. This place is not suitable for the ship to enter," the captain said. Lin Feng nodded. Then, Lin Feng could not help but slander the captain in his heart. As expected, the captain could enter and leave the ship freely. Previously, he pretended that he could not enter and leave the ship freely. What a shameless thing to do! Lin Feng despised the captain in his heart. Then, he and the captain of the ship. Together, they flew toward the celestial burial star sea. After entering the immortal burial star sea, the 6 black holes in Lin Feng's dantian began to frantically devour the death energy in the immortal burial star sea. Powerful death energy continuously poured into Lin Feng's dantian. A smile appeared on Lin Feng's face. This was because he discovered that his great death art was rapidly improving. His great death art was at the great success stage. As his great death art continued to improve, Lin Feng believed that it wouldn't be long before his great death art reached the great perfection stage. In addition to the great death technique, Lin Feng's eyes of death were also transforming after absorbing a large amount of death energy. Many death runes were condensed inside the eyes of death, and these death runes were very powerful. Once these death runes appeared, they could shake the world and make ghosts and gods weep. Who could contend against them? The captain of the boat of curses was also absorbing the power of death. It was unknown what kind of divine ability he was using the power of death to cultivate. Roar! Suddenly, a deep roar was heard. The void cracked open, and a behemoth flew out. It was a huge golden python with wings, 100-meter-long body, dragon eyes, and whiskers. Ting snake. This python was actually a ting snake. There were records of the ting snake in the mountain and sea scripture. There was a double-winged snake with a body like a python. It was gold, yellow, and black. Its eyes were like dragon eyes, and it had dragon whiskers. This was the divine beast Ting snake. The Ting snake was a very powerful creature with an extremely heaven-defying cultivation. If an ordinary person encountered the Ting snake, they would definitely die. However, this Ting snake chose the wrong target to attack. The captain of the boat of curses opened his hand and grabbed at the Ting snake. A strange force poured into the Ting snake's body, and its body quickly shrank. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a small snake that was only a dozen centimeters long. Then, it was caught by the captain of the boat of curses. The captain of the boat of curses uncorked the wine gourd hanging on his waist and stuffed the Ting snake inside. It seemed that this guy wanted to use the Ting snake to make wine. The two of them continued to fly inside. There were many stars here, but the stars here were basically bare. The power of death had turned the stars here into stars of death. This sea of stars is truly a world of death, Yifutian murmured. Lin Feng could not help but say, "Actually, there are a few races in this sea of stars," the captain of the boat of curses said. "There are actually races living in such a harsh place?" Lin Feng could not help but reveal a look of disbelief. "Rumor has it that they are a cursed race. They have been guarding the ancient battlefield for generations and are unable to leave the immortal burial sea," the captain of the boat of curses said. "There is such a thing?" Lin Feng frowned. Everyone's expression changed when they talked about the Tao of Curses. However, there was nothing wrong with the Tao of Curses. The Tao of Curses was the same as other great Taos. However, after some people mastered the Tao of Curses, they did not use the Tao of Curses on the Tao of Curses. Therefore, the people of the future were getting more and more proficient in the Tao of Curses. The captain of the boat of curses said, "Any place will be filled with some dark things." Not long after, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses arrived on the cursed planet. The ancient battlefield was deep in the cursed planet. When they arrived, they discovered that many cultivators had arrived. "It seems that the news of the ancient battlefield has been leaked," Lin Feng said. The captain of the boat of curses said, "This is not strange. Many people should know about this ancient battlefield. Many forces have planted spies, waiting for the ancient battlefield to open one day. If not for the arrival of the apocalypse, the ancient battlefield might not have opened. However, now that the apocalypse has arrived, all kinds of opportunities have appeared. This is the last chance for cultivators to fight with all their might. Lin Feng said, "Can we enter the ancient battlefield now? We should have to wait for a few more days. It is said that a black energy door will appear when the ancient battlefield is completely opened. Everyone will have to pass through the black energy door to enter the ancient battlefield. However, the black energy door has not appeared yet, so the ancient battlefield is not completely open yet," the captain of the Boat of Curses said. Lin Feng nodded. He and the captain of the Boat of Curses landed on the cursed planet. They saw some tribes, some of which were bigger and some of which were smaller. Those tribes lived in caves, and some tribes built stone houses. They wore animal skin clothes and looked very primitive. After arriving here, it was as if they had arrived at a primitive society in the absolute beginning. Those tribes should be the ancient families that had been guarding the ancient battlefield for generations after being cursed. Chapter 41-25. Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse also found a place to rest. In the distance, some children from the tribe walked out. The children's eyes were very big, and their pupils were sky blue. Their skin was a little tanned, but it wasn't particularly tanned. It was a bronze color. Perhaps it had something to do with their race. They were relatively thin. Living in this star field, they definitely could not eat anything good. At this age, they were still growing, so they needed more nutrition. Are these races that guard the ancient battlefield very powerful? Lin Feng asked the captain of the Boat of Curse. If they were strong enough, they wouldn't have been cursed back then, the captain of the Boat of Curse said, shaking his head. Lin Feng smiled bitterly. Sure enough, no matter what era it was, the ones who were bullied were those who were not strong enough. Strength was king. Strength was respected. Those who were not strong enough were destined to be bullied. 7 or 8 children, led by a little girl, came to Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse. In fact, the little girl was not very old. She was about 8 or 9 years old. The rest of the children were even younger. Most of them were 5 or 6 years old. The youngest one was only 3 or 4 years old. These children were obviously afraid of strangers. When they came over, they looked very cautious. When they came to Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse, they looked very scared. Do you need food? Lin Feng looked at the little girl and asked. The little girl looked at Lin Feng and nodded. Lin Feng took out some spirit fruits and distributed them to the children. To Lin Feng's surprise, the captain of the Boat of Curse also took out some spirit fruits and distributed them to the children. You are... Lin Feng looked at the captain of the Boat of Curse in disbelief. In Lin Feng's impression, the captain of the Boat of Curse was a person full of evil and killing. Now, he took the initiative to distribute the spirit fruits to the children. It was really unbelievable. Lin Feng could not believe his eyes. But it was all true. However, Lin Feng felt that it was somewhat inconceivable. When did this guy become overflowing with love? He didn't look like the captain of the Boat of Curse at all. Perhaps. Everyone has a good side and a bad side, right? Now, the captain of the Boat of Curse was showing his kind side. The captain of the Boat of Curse glanced at Lin Feng and said, I'm kind. Why is fate so unfair? Lin Feng didn't say much. Although he knew a little about the past of the captain of the Boat of Curse, he didn't know much, so he couldn't evaluate the captain of the Boat of Curse in detail. This was because one needed to evaluate a person from many aspects, not just from 1, 2, or 3 aspects. If one were to evaluate a person in this way, it would be too one-sided. Thank you, uncles. The children hurriedly thanked Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse. Good girl, take it back and eat it. Lin Feng rubbed the little girl's head. The children quickly left with the spirit fruits in their arms. Not long after, several indigenous cultivators from the tribe arrived. The leader was a middle-aged man. The little girl led them here. Thank you for giving them the spirit fruits. How about we go to the tribe for a visit? The middle-aged man said with a smile. As you wish. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse stood up and said. They didn't refuse to go to the tribe to have a look. They were quite interested in this primitive tribe. They wondered how the people of this primitive tribe survived. There were many cultivators scattered in the forest. They looked indifferent and looked at Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse with a hint of sarcasm. Perhaps these people looked down on the primitive tribe here. Therefore, when they saw Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse accepting the invitation of a primitive tribe to visit the tribe, they were disdainful. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse weren't as pretentious as these people. They went as they wanted and didn't care what others thought of them. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse followed the group of people into the tribe. The tribe here was built on the mountain. They opened up some caves and built some stone houses. In the middle of the tribe, there was a bonfire. Above the bonfire, there was a wild vegetable soup. The living conditions here were difficult. It was difficult to survive here. Most of the plants that could survive here were poisonous. It was very difficult to find food. In addition to the wild vegetable soup, there was also a type of food like sweet potatoes roasting in the bonfire. However, this food emitted a faint fishy smell. It smelled very bad. Outsiders naturally wouldn't touch this kind of food, but the primitive tribes here saw it as food to prolong their lives. Without this food, many of their tribesmen would starve to death. Do you usually eat this? Lin Feng looked at the middle-aged man next to him. This man was called Amosen. He was the father of the children from before. Amosen said. Yes. We don't have much to eat here. Even these things can't be eaten all the time. Lin Feng could not help but sigh in his heart. No wonder those children were so thin and weak. How could they grow up eating these things? Lin Feng sensed that even though there were cultivators in the tribe, there weren't any extremely strong cultivators. The strongest cultivator was only a half-emperor. Their lives were too difficult. It was hard to nurture top experts. Just think about it, eating was a problem. How could they have the energy to cultivate? Lin Feng took out the dragon meat and some other fierce beast meat stored in the time-space. These meat were piled up like a small mountain. Uncle Amosen. Take these things. This is a small token of my appreciation, Lin Feng said. Meat, it's meat. All the men and women in the tribe, young and old, were pleasantly surprised as they stared at the piles of various fierce beast meat. They were about to drool. They might not even be able to eat meat once a year. Thank you, little brother. I really don't know how to thank you for your kindness. Amosen was happy and sad at the same time. He really wanted to give Lin Feng a gift, but his clan didn't have anything valuable anymore. Besides, Lin Feng obviously didn't care about ordinary treasures. Chapter 41:26. This is just a small token of my appreciation. I don't ask for anything in return. Brother Amosen, quickly order people to store the fierce beast meat. Then take out a portion of the meat and make some meat soup. Then make some barbecue. Let's eat to our heart's content, Lin Feng said. Yes, yes, yes. Amosen quickly nodded and called out to the rest of the tribesmen. These people decomposed the fierce beast meat and stored it. A portion of the fierce beast meat was used to make barbecue, and a portion of the fierce beast meat was used to make soup. In the tribe, men and women, young and old, could not help but cheer. Finally, they could eat meat. Everyone was very excited. Lin Feng could not help but feel a little emotional. It was just fierce beast meat. People in the outside world might not care about it. But in this place, it was enough to make a tribe fall into great happiness. Looking at the excited tribesmen, Lin Feng could not help but smile. The captain of the boat of curses smiled. He too smiled. I've known you for so long, but this is the first time I've seen you smile, said Lin Feng to the captain of the boat of curses. Did I smile? When did I smile? The captain of the boat of curses said. His face tightened again. He had a very serious expression. Uncles, we like you, The little girl came with a group of children and said innocently. Her little face was full of pure expression. She had a necklace made of willow branches in her hand. She put the necklace on Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses. Then, the little girl chuckled. "What's your name?" Lin Feng asked the little girl with a smile. "My name is Alice," the little girl replied. "Alice! What a nice name," Lin Feng said with a smile. "Uncle, how about we go dancing together?" The little girl looked up at Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses. Perhaps it was because they were about to eat meat. Many people in the tribe surrounded the bonfire and started to dance happily. Lin Feng said with a smile. Of course. He did not want to reject a little girl's earnest plea. The face of the captain of the boat of curse froze. He turned his face to the side and pretended not to hear Alice's invitation. But Alice reached out her small hand and grabbed the captain's big hand. She said with a smile, "Uncle, hold my hand, and I will teach you how to dance." The captain of the boat of curse wanted to pull a long face and break free from Alice's little hand. He could do it easily. But he didn't do that. Instead, he walked with Lin Feng and Alice towards the nearest bonfire with a straight face. "Don't misunderstand, I just think that the dance of this primitive tribe is very interesting, so I came to dance," the captain of the ship of curses explained. Lin Feng said with a faint smile. "It seems that I didn't say anything. You don't have to explain to me." The captain of the boat of curse moved his lips. He wanted to say something, but he didn't say anything in the end. After coming to the bonfire, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse each held one of Alice's little hands. Alice's little face was full of joy. She was very happy. This was the happiest day of her life. Many people in the tribe gathered around and then danced with Lin Feng, Alice, and the captain of the boat of curse. This was a kind of stomping dance. It was a very tribal dance, although it looked quite strange. But when you really integrated into this dance, you would feel that this dance was extremely interesting. The practitioners in the distant mountains all looked at Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse with contempt. They were arrogant. They would never walk with the untouchables in their eyes. So they had enough reason to look down on Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse. After a few dances, Alice was already very tired. The little girl sat by the bonfire to rest, while Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse also found a place to rest. "It feels good to be alive." The captain of the boat of curse sighed with emotion. "You have been alive all the time," Lin Feng said. "The real life, just like just now, enjoying life. Life is not only about cultivation," the captain of the boat of curse said. "So, you need to kill me in order to truly come back to life?" Lin Feng could not help but raise his eyebrows. His face was a little ugly. Lin Feng did not want to die in the hands of the captain of the boat of curse. But obviously, if the captain of the boat of curse wanted to really be alive, he had to kill Lin Feng. It's hard to change a person's fate. Your fate has been determined long ago, the captain of the boat of curse said. Ridiculous! Lin Feng sneered. Their conversation was very unpleasant, but soon they put down the grudge. It was just a short cooperation. After the cooperation, they would become sworn enemies. Maybe it was because they found each other's good points in the process of getting along and subconsciously regarded each other as their friends, so they were angry when they talked about life and death. But they were not destined to be friends. Dinner was very sumptuous for the people of this primitive tribe. Many of them cried while eating meat. For them, meat was perhaps the most delicious food in the world. After dinner, everyone sat together and chatted. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse talked about the ancient battlefield. However, Almosen and the others did not know much about the ancient battlefield. It was said that in the early years, their ancestors seemed to have a way to enter the ancient battlefield, but now, they could no longer enter the ancient battlefield. Their tribe had declined. At this moment, a green light shot up to the sky from the depths of the tribe. After seeing the green light, Lin Feng was very surprised. "What's that?" Lin Feng asked curiously. "A stone block," Amoson said. Can you take me to see it? Lin Feng asked. He felt that the stone block might be extraordinary. The captain of the boat of curse obviously felt it too, but he was not interested in the treasure. Of course. Amoson nodded. Lin Feng followed Amoson to see the stone block. The captain of the boat of curse did not move. He sat there and chatted with a few primitive tribesmen. He responded to the primitive tribesmen with a few words. Not long after, Lin Feng followed Amoson to the place where the stone block was placed. It was indeed a stone block, a green stone block. It was very simple, with some scratches on it. It seemed to be traces of time. Chapter 41:27. The more Lin Feng looked at it, the more he realized it was extraordinary. When he saw it, his heart started pounding, as if he was looking at a peerless treasure. It was indeed extraordinary because Lin Feng had the impression that it was a stone tool. Such an ancient artifact definitely hid some unknown secrets. What's the origin of this stone artifact? Lin Feng asked Amoson. Amoson said, This stone artifact is very old. Rumor has it that countless years ago, an ancestor of mine carried it out from the ancient battlefield. Oh? Carried it out from the ancient battlefield? Lin Feng was shocked. Immortals and devils were buried in the ancient battlefield. There were even some of the earliest living beings from the lost races of the epoch. Many of the items there had shocking origins. Back then, that ancestor was covered in blood. According to him, he suffered a calamity in there and only managed to come out alive because he carried the stone artifact. Amoson said. Oh? There's such a thing? What exactly happened? Did your ancestor say anything about it? Lin Feng asked curiously. Amoson shook his head. The ancestor didn't talk much about the ancient battlefield. He was very secretive about what happened there. Later on, the ancestor entered the ancient battlefield a few more times. In the past, other ancestors asked him why he entered the ancient battlefield, but he didn't tell them. However, this ancestor didn't tell them. This ancestor frequently enters the ancient battlefield. He must have his own goals. Lin Feng frowned. Everything was too strange. The ancestor definitely had his own reasons. Otherwise, why would he enter the ancient battlefield so many times in such a short period of time? What was his goal, though? Or did he discover something shocking in the ancient battlefield? That was why he couldn't wait to enter the ancient battlefield again and again. This was very likely. Lin Feng asked. What happened after that? What happened to your ancestor? It was said that it was a night of lightning and thunder. Someone saw it. The ancestor flashed towards the ancient battlefield once more. Moreover, there seemed to be a figure flashing towards the ancient battlefield with the ancestor this time. A figure? Could it be someone from your tribe? Lin Feng curiously asked. No. That figure wasn't from our tribe. Due to the heavy rain that day and the distance was a little far, I couldn't see clearly who the figure was. About half a month later, the ancestor came back alone. Amoson took a deep breath at this point. Lin Feng knew that Amoson was about to reveal the most important matter. Something shocking must have happened on his return this time. Amoson adjusted his breathing and said, The ancestor carried the stone artifact back. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. The whole thing was strange. Lin Feng was experienced and knowledgeable, but he didn't understand. When he heard this, he felt that it was inconceivable. After losing his heart, how did he survive for so long? How did he manage to return to the tribe? However, there were all sorts of strange things in the great wide world. Although such a thing sounded a little inconceivable, it was not impossible. Although it was unbelievable, it wasn't unacceptable. Did he say anything before he died? Lin Feng asked. Amoson said. He told our tribe not to enter the ancient battlefield so easily again. After saying that, the ancestor passed away. Our clan remembered our ancestor's warning and didn't allow anyone to enter the ancient battlefield for many years. But after that, we lost the method to enter the ancient battlefield. After that, nobody in our clan knew how to enter the ancient battlefield. Therefore, nobody from our clan knew how to enter the ancient battlefield anymore. Lin Feng said. There are many large and small tribes on this planet. What about the other tribes? Do they still have the method to enter the ancient battlefield? Amosen said. I heard that some of the other tribes have encountered all sorts of things. As time passed, they were unable to enter the ancient battlefield. Lin Feng nodded. The main reason was that too much time had passed. It wasn't easy for these tribes to survive until now. It was normal for the method of entering the ancient battlefield to be lost. Amosen continued. However, according to my observations, the ancient battlefield will open in at most half a month. At that time, the space-time domain gate will appear, and you will be able to enter. I hope so, Lin Feng said. This stone block has been in our tribe for countless years. If little brother likes it, we can give it to you, Amosen said. Lin Feng was overjoyed. Amosen's tribe was unable to uncover the secrets of the stone block, but that didn't mean that Lin Feng couldn't. Lin Feng really liked the stone block. Now that Amosen was giving it to Lin Feng was naturally happy. Thank you, big brother Amosen, Lin Feng said. Little brother, you don't have to be so polite. Amosen smiled. Amosen continued. I won't disturb little brother any longer. Little brother, you can feel the stone block here and see if you can find anything. All right. Lin Feng nodded. Amosen left, and Lin Feng began to study the stone block. Is this a rune imprint? Lin Feng carefully studied the imprints on the stone block. He discovered that they were rune imprints. However, the imprints were too blurry, so Lin Feng didn't dare to confirm whether they were rune imprints or not. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown. He felt that the stone block had an indescribable sense of mystery. He sat down cross-legged and tried to feel the stone block's aura. Lin Feng hoped that he would be able to fuse with the stone block. If that was the case, he might be able to uncover some of its secrets. However, Lin Feng was quickly disappointed. The stone block seemed to be an ordinary stone. No matter how he tried, he couldn't feel anything. This shouldn't be, it's definitely not an ordinary stone. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself. In the past, this tribe's ancestor carried the stone block to escape from the ancient battlefield. This was enough to show how extraordinary the stone block was. Lin Feng didn't give up. He continued to use his divine sense to feel the stone block's extraordinariness. Chapter 41-28. Vaguely, Lin Feng seemed to hear a very strange sound. He was looking for the source of the sound. Finally, Lin Feng found the source of the sound. That strange sound came from the stone block. That sound sounded a little eerie and terrifying. After an unknown period of time, Lin Feng saw a world. It was an ancient world. Someone fished out a stone block from the water. It was a few teenagers surrounding the stone block. He didn't know who those teenagers were. But those teenagers seemed to have gained a lot of benefits from the stone block. Their ordinary lives changed because of it. Every single one of them had become a generation of astonishing talents. Their light shone for eternity. Until one day they changed. The stone block's extraordinariness allowed them to complete their transformation. But after the transformation, they were no longer satisfied. Everyone wanted to take the stone block for themselves. Hence, a fierce battle broke out between them. Originally, they were like brothers. But now, in order to fight for the stone block, they no longer cared about these friendships. Everyone was extremely ruthless. Every move wanted to kill the other party. After a fierce battle, only one person was left alive. Ha ha! Looking at the corpses on the ground, he laughed crazily. He succeeded. He succeeded in killing everyone else. The stone block, this supreme treasure, finally belonged to him alone. Think about it. He felt extremely excited. But at this moment, wisps of black fog surged out from the stone block. Those wisps of black fog surged into his body. But he didn't notice this at all. Time passed. He became more and more unable to control his body and emotions. He became the stone block's slave. Most of the time, he was the one controlling the treasure. But there were also times when the treasure controlled him. Just like now. He even wanted to get rid of the stone block's control. But he failed. He tried several times, but in the end, he had to admit sadly. He had completely become the stone block's slave. This made him. He felt extremely angry. He was extremely unwilling. When evil thoughts grew, his heart was no longer pure. It was at that time that the stone block took advantage of him. Until the arrival of that tragic war. He died on the battlefield, and Stone's stool was severely injured. They didn't have to participate in that battle, but Stone's stool was eyeing a mysterious treasure, so he participated in that battle. And the result was extremely terrible. However, this was the worst possible outcome, but it freed him. When we were young, we were always together like real brothers. Later on, when we grew stronger, we also changed. I really want to go back to when we were young and see them again. Before he died, he muttered. A smile appeared on his face. He died laughing. Was he dreaming of his youth? As for the stone block, it was buried in the ancient battlefield. Time passed. After countless years, someone found the stone block. This person was none other than the ancestor of the primitive tribe whose heart had been dug out. That day, darkness enveloped the ancient battlefield. There seemed to be something terrifying lurking in the darkness. He came out with the stone block on his back and luckily escaped. However, the rest of the content disappeared completely. Lin Feng's divine will returned to his body. He couldn't help but frown slightly. Things were really strange. This stone block was very strange. The ancestor of the primitive tribe entered the ancient battlefield again and again, and even suffered because of it. He seemed to be looking for something. Was the thing he was looking for what the stone block was looking for? Lin Feng couldn't help but think of a possibility. Actually, the ancestor of the primitive tribe might have discovered some secrets from the stone block. However, Lin Feng couldn't find any clues for now. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. He wondered if Stone's stool had a spirit? In the past, Stone's stool could enslave other cultivators. Then, Stone's stool should have a spirit, right? Otherwise, how did Stone's stool enslave other cultivators? Lin Feng wanted to use his divine will to find where Stone's stool's spirit was hidden, but he couldn't find anything. Even if Stone's stool really had a spirit, it must be hidden very deeply. Ordinary people. It was impossible to find where Stone's stool's spirit was hidden. Lin Feng had to put Stone's stool away for the time being. It was really difficult to find Stone's stool's secret now. He hoped that he could find Stone's stool's secret in the future. Lin Feng wasn't worried that Stone's stool could control him. The reason why Stone's stool controlled him was because his willpower wasn't strong enough. Lin Feng had absolute confidence in his willpower. If Stone's stool wanted to control him, Lin Feng could smash Stone's stool into pieces. Lin Feng walked outside. In the distance, he saw Alice and the captain of the boat of curses sitting together and talking. Surprisingly, they were chatting together. It was incredible. The captain of the boat of curse was really a mysterious person. Take this and wear it with you. The captain of the boat of curse took out a pendant and handed it to Alice. There was a pale blue crystal on the pendant. It was very beautiful. Uncle, what is this? Alice asked curiously. This is a treasure made from the crystal of hope, the captain of the boat of curse said. What is the crystal of hope? Alice looked at the captain of the boat of curses with a curious expression. It's a special kind of energy crystal. Treasures made from this crystal are very powerful. The captain of the boat of curses rubbed Alice's head. The crystal was not only a powerful magic weapon, but it also contained some of the divine ability imprints of the captain of the boat of curses. With this crystal, Alice would be able to dream of someone teaching her those divine abilities when she sleeps. Of course, the captain of the boat of curse didn't tell Alice about this. Thank you, Uncle. Alice likes this gift very much. Alice smiled brightly. She put on the crystal pendant and gave the captain of the boat of curses a hug. The next day, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of Curse were planning to leave. They planned to go to the outer area of the ancient battlefield to have a look. The two of them bid farewell to Amosen, Alice, and the others. Then, they quickly flew towards the depths of the ancient battlefield. 3 days later, they arrived at the outer area of the ancient battlefield. There wasn't a single blade of grass here. Everywhere was filled with a terrifying aura. It was like coming to the passage to the underworld. Chapter 41-29. Many people had already gathered in the surroundings. They were scattered all over the place, observing the ancient battlefield that was shrouded in restrictions. At the same time, in the starry sky world, a large number of cultivators had arrived at the immortal burial star sea. Among them was a team of over 100 people. There were many experts in the team. Those experts were actually guards, escorting a divine chariot. 9 serpents pulled the chariot over. What a grand procession! Who are those people? Someone pointed at the huge team and couldn't help but reveal a shocked expression. 9 serpents pulling the chariot was one thing. More importantly, the chariot drivers were all Emperor-level experts. This kind of extravagance was indeed shocking. They seemed to be people from the Undying Realm, someone said. People from the Undying Realm? Are they space travelers from the Undying Realm? Someone asked in surprise. Since the great changes in the world, the mysterious Undying Realm had gradually been revealed to the world. Many cultivators of the Undying Realm had left the Undying Realm and came to the outside world to train. Therefore, there were still many cultivators from the Undying Realm in the starry sky world. However, even the cultivators from the Undying Realm rarely saw such a grand procession. Even in the Undying Realm, Emperor-Lord-level powerhouses were almighty existences of a region. But now, the other party had an Emperor-level expert as his chariot driver. It was obvious how extraordinary his identity was. It was absolutely shocking. It's the Celestial Emperor's nephew! Duga Chen! Someone said. What? The Celestial Emperor's nephew? The Undying Realm's master's nephew? Many people couldn't help but exclaim when they heard that. The Undying Realm was a special world. As the #1 world among the 3,000 great worlds, it was half a plane higher than the other worlds. It was a higher level world. However, this world was half a plane lower than the 3 supreme realms. Therefore, the number of experts born in this world was not as many as the 3 supreme realms. Even though it was slightly inferior to the 3 supreme realms, it was still unimaginably terrifying. The Celestial Emperor. As the master of the Undying Realm, he was definitely an existence that the 3 supreme realms had to pay attention to. Duga Chen's mother was the Celestial Emperor's younger sister. Therefore, Duga Chen and the Celestial Emperor were extremely close by blood. Therefore, the Duga clan was a famous force in the Undying Realm. Furthermore, he had the support of the Sky Emperor. Duga Chen was a domineering existence in the Undying Realm. No wonder he could make an Emperor-rank expert drive the carriage. Duga Chen's identity is too extraordinary. Someone could not help but sigh. Indeed, Duga Chen's identity was too extraordinary. Therefore, if it was anyone else, who would dare to let the Emperor-Lord drive the carriage? He didn't have the right to do so. Only someone like Duga Chen was qualified to do so. The team escorting Duga Chen quickly drove into the depths of the immortal burial star sea and finally landed on the cursed planet. A large number of cultivators. They arrived one after another. Looking at this team from afar, none of them dared to approach him. Even if they were talking about them, they did not dare to point at them. If the other party felt that pointing at them was disrespectful to Duga Chen, it would be a disaster. At that time, only death would await them. This was not an exaggeration to scare them. It was indeed easy for some top forces to do such a thing. The group quickly flew through the void of space. A young man was sitting cross-legged in the middle of the chariot. There were also 2 charming female cultivators leaning against the young master. He actually brought such a beautiful concubine with him when he went out to train. How was this even training? It was more like he was out to play. Duga Chen looked very young, But in fact, he was not young. He had cultivated for 720,000 years. His talent was very powerful. Coupled with his noble background and countless resources, his realm was very high. Young master, why did we come to this place? This place makes me feel very uncomfortable, a concubine said coquettishly. Her voice was like a seductive vixen. Duguchin had many concubines. Since Duguchin brought her out, it was obvious that Duguchin was very fond of her. This concubine who spoke was the best at acting coquettishly, but Duguchin fell for it. Duguchin said, "This is the ancient battlefield of the first great war after the beginning of the era. Previously, that ancient battlefield collapsed. I went to another ancient battlefield and knew that there were some extraordinary things in that ancient battlefield. However, the ancient battlefield I went to before wasn't the main battlefield. This ancient battlefield is the main battlefield. I didn't expect to see this ancient battlefield open while I was traveling through the starry sky. That's right. Even the heavens are helping me. This young master wants to enter this ancient battlefield to find a treasure. What kind of treasure does young master not have? Is there a treasure here that can interest young master?" another charming concubine asked. "Of course there is. The treasure I'm looking for is the time millstone left behind by the first time god. It is rumored that the time millstone is one of the 5 great millstones in the world. Once the time millstone spins, cultivators can travel through time in the past, present, and future," Duguchin said. "Ah? Time travel? Oh my god, is this true?" the 2 concubines exclaimed in disbelief. They could not believe what they had just heard. There was a treasure in this world that could allow one to travel through time. If it was possible to travel through time, would it be possible to travel to the past and make up for the regrets of the past? If it was possible to travel through time, would it be possible to go to the future and see what the future was like? Heaven-defying! Heaven-defying! It was too heaven-defying. The time millstone sounded unbelievable, but since it was a supreme treasure mentioned by Duguchin, the 2 concubines trusted him very much. "If young master can obtain the time millstone, doesn't that mean?" one of the concubines said. "Ha ha!" Duguchin suddenly burst into laughter. His eyes burned with passion. "If I can obtain the time millstone, the fate of countless people will change." The other concubine asked curiously, "Young master, you said that the time millstone is one of the 5 great millstones in the world. What are the other 4 millstones? Can you tell us more about them?" Duguchin said. "The other 4 millstones have shocking origins as well. The first one is called the Obliteration Millstone. Rumor has it that this millstone was a supreme treasure that appeared countless epochs ago. When the Obliteration Millstone spins, an epoch will begin its journey towards destruction." At this point, Duguchin's expression could not help but become solemn. Chapter 4130. "Where is the Obliterating Millstone?" asked one of the concubines. "It's in the hands of those who can't be mentioned," said Duguchin. The 2 of them were from the undying world, so they had naturally heard of the Battle of Armageddon and the mastermind behind it. Those who can't be mentioned were referring to the mastermind behind it. They were well aware of this. "Was the Obliterating Millstone created by those who can't be mentioned?" asked one of the concubines. Duguchin shook his head and said, "I don't know as well. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. However, I heard my cousin brother, Di Woodau, mention the Obliteration Millstone. My cousin brother seemed to have seen it in the past." "What? Lord Di Woodau saw the Obliterating Millstone? There's such a thing?" The faces of the 2 concubines were filled with disbelief. "It happened many years ago. In order to eliminate that person, the people of that world seem to have used the Obliterating Millstone's power to deal with him." Duguchin took a deep breath. His heart still palpitated when he thought of that fiend godlike man from over 100 years ago. Back then, when he heard that his cousin Di Woodau had submitted to that man, he couldn't understand it at all. But later on, when he followed Di Woodau to meet that man, he only felt that the man was like a majestic divine mountain, making him feel small. Now that he thought about it, Duguchen's heart palpitated. But fortunately, that man had been destroyed. The two concubines seemed to know who the man Duguchen was talking about was, but they were still shocked. That world actually needed to use the obliterating millstone's power to eliminate that man. It was truly unimaginable. It was hard to imagine how powerful that man had been back then. The second millstone is called the Yellow Mud Platform Millstone. It's rumored that it's made from the flesh and bones of an ancient sacred emperor, continued Duguchen. Ancient Saint Emperor level expert? Even in the era of titled gods, they were the strongest existences, right? The two concubines couldn't help but exclaim in shock. Yes. However, the Yellow Mud Platform Millstone had disappeared for a very long time, but I heard that it seemed to have appeared more than 100 years ago. Some of the major forces in the Undying Realm dispatched experts to investigate the Yellow Mud Platform Millstone. I wonder if they have found any clues, Duguchen said. He paused for a moment and continued. The third millstone is the Millstone of Destiny. Some people also call it the Wheel of Fate. Everything in this world has its own destiny. Even a stone on the side of the road has its own destiny. Rumor has it that cultivating the great destiny art can change one's own destiny, but this requires subtle changes. In the process of changing one's fate, many unexpected things can happen. For example, if one encounters some extremely powerful existences, one will still die. This is something that the Great Fate spell cannot change. But, if we find the Destiny Millstone, it will be a different story. By spinning the Destiny Millstone, one's fate can be changed immediately. Even if you encounter the attack of a supreme expert, as long as you spin the Destiny Millstone, you might be able to change the fate of both sides. This Destiny Millstone is truly miraculous. The eyes of the two concubines couldn't help but light up. The Time Millstone, World Annihilation Millstone, and Yellow Clay Platform Millstone were all possible, but they were most interested in the Destiny Millstone. She directly spun the Millstone of Fate to change her fate, making herself a supreme empress. Countless men knelt on the ground, submitting to him. The feeling of being in control. How great would it feel? When that time came, Duguchen? Celestial Emperor? All of them would kneel on the ground. When that time came, they would no longer be the accessories of men. Instead, those men would become their male slaves. Who wouldn't want to rise above others? The two concubines also wanted to. You have thoughts? What? You want to find the Destiny Millstone and change your fate? Duguchen narrowed his eyes and said. This fellow was truly sensitive. When the two concubines heard the coldness in Duguchen's voice, they jumped in fright and hurriedly said, Young master, how would we dare? To be able to serve young master is already the greatest fortune of our lives. We are loyal to the young master. It's good that you know. Anyone who dares to betray this young master will definitely die. Duguchen said coldly. Of course, of course. The two concubines hurriedly said. Duguchen continued. The fifth millstone is rather special. The fifth millstone is a mother-son millstone. It is rather mysterious. It is said to be a pair of stone millstones. However, the use of the fifth millstone is unknown. These 5 millstones each have their own uses. Any one of them is extremely heaven-defying. Therefore, the time millstone must fall into my hands. Young master will definitely obtain the time millstone. The two concubines hurriedly said. Haha, if this young master obtains the time millstone, I will definitely reward the two of you. Duguchen said with a smile. Hearing this, the two concubines were wild with joy. The group flew quickly. Suddenly, Duguchen raised his brows slightly. Young master, what's wrong? One of the concubines looked at Duguchen in confusion. I can vaguely sense the aura of the Hope Crystal, Duguchen said in astonishment. Hope Crystal? The rumored Hope Crystal, one of the top 10 crystals? This kind of thing is a legendary treasure. There's actually a treasure like the Hope Crystal in such a backward place? The two concubines were extremely shocked. They had heard of the Hope Crystal. It was said that as long as there was hope in one's heart, the hope crystal would allow the person who obtained it to continuously advance. There were even rumors that some ancient saint emperors were able to become ancient saint emperors because they had the hope crystal in their hands. On the path of cultivation, no matter what kind of difficulties one encountered, they would always be able to see hope. The hope crystal contained unimaginable power. It was definitely one of the most mysterious treasures in all the heavens. There is indeed a hope crystal in this world. I saw it at my uncle's place before, so I can vaguely sense the unique fluctuation of the hope crystal, Doguchin said as he lifted the curtain of the carriage. He looked into the distance. A primitive tribe appeared in Doguchin's line of sight. P.S. Someone asked old Steam Bun why Doguchin, who has a lifespan of more than 700,000 years, still calls himself young master? Think about it. A cultivator at Doguchin's level has a lifespan of 70,000 to 80 million years. He has only lived for a little more than 700,000 years, which is only about 1% of his lifespan. There is no problem with calling himself young master. Also, the ending of the Demon Lord's story has been released. Follow Old Steam Bun's WeChat account to see all kinds of stories. Search for Wang Zai Old Steam Bun on WeChat and click follow. You will be able to see all the stories in history. Chapter 41-31. Outside the ancient battlefield, Lin Feng leaned against a tree and looked in the direction of the ancient battlefield. He and the captain of the boat of curse had been flying around the ancient battlefield for a long time, trying to see if there was a way to break through the restrictions and enter the ancient battlefield. However, the two had failed. The restrictions here were rather strange. Breaking through the restrictions and entering the ancient battlefield was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. At that moment, Lin Feng noticed that the captain of the boat of curse was frowning from time to time. Lin Feng asked, "What's wrong? Did you notice something amiss?" "No." The captain shook his head. The captain of the boat of curse shook his head and said, "Let's go back." "Go back where?" Lin Feng asked, puzzled. "To the primitive tribe," the captain said. "What? Could it be that you sensed something?" Lin Feng could not help but frown. "It's an indescribable feeling. Let's go back and take a look," the captain said. "No problem." Lin Feng nodded. Then, together with the captain of the boat of curse, they quickly flew in the direction of the primitive tribe. Lin Feng naturally did not want anything to happen to the primitive tribe. In the primitive tribe, thousands of people were driven to an empty space. Doguchin walked out of the divine chariot. "Hand over the hope crystal!" Doguchin looked coldly at everyone in the primitive tribe. "Hope crystal? What is that? We have never heard of it." "Yeah, we don't know what the hope crystal is." Many people were puzzled. They had never heard of the hope crystal. "If you don't hand it over, everyone will die." Doguchin looked coldly at the crowd. Doguchin said indifferently. He was a high and mighty existence who did not care about the lives of others. "Spare us, young master, please spare us. We really don't know what the hope crystal is. Young master, please spare us." Many people knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. "Chop off their heads one by one until someone hands over the hope crystal," Doguchin ordered in an indifferent voice. "Yes, young master." Immediately, powerful guards pulled out their sabers and walked toward the crowd. The strongest person in the primitive tribe was the quasi-emperor Amos Senator. However, Amoson was like an ant in front of this group of people. There was no way he could fight against these people. He didn't even have the strength to resist. What could he use to fight against these people? "I have the hope crystal!" At this moment, a tender voice sounded. Alice walked out. The hope crystal was given to her by the captain of the boat of curse. Alice knew that the hope crystal was extremely precious. It was also extremely important to her. But she couldn't just stand by and watch her clansmen get killed. "Alice, don't spout nonsense. Where would you get such a thing?" Amoson said hurriedly. "Father, I have it," Alice said. Then, he took off the pendant hanging around his neck. When Doguchin saw the crystal of hope on the pendant, His eyes were filled with a burning desire. The Hope Crystal, it really is the Hope Crystal. My intuition was right. A supreme treasure like the Hope Crystal actually appeared in this small, defeated place. Dugachin was extremely excited. He took a step forward and snatched the Hope Crystal away. He carefully observed the Hope Crystal. It was really beautiful. Dugachin liked it more and more. Congratulations, young master, for obtaining the supreme treasure, the Hope Crystal. The two concubines hurriedly congratulated him. Congratulations, young master, for obtaining the Hope Crystal. Young master will definitely shock the heavens in the future. The group of subordinates also congratulated him. The matter of the Hope Crystal must be kept a secret. I think you all know what to do, Dugachin said. Yes, young master. The group of guards hurriedly replied. That's good. Dugachin walked towards the divine chariot with one of his concubines in each hand. Young master, what do we do with these people? The leader of the guards asked softly. Kill them all. Leave no one alive, Dugachin sneered. He couldn't leave any clues about the Hope Crystal behind. The best way was to kill those who knew about it. How vicious and merciless. Yes, young master, the leader of the guards said. After Dugachin and the two concubines boarded the divine chariot, the leader of the guards made a throat-slitting gesture at those cultivators. Those cultivators. They immediately understood. Then, with a single leap, he charged into the crowd and began a massacre. Pft! 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 Ripping sounds could be heard one after another. The massacre officially began. Not long after, the ground was littered with corpses. Groan, the dragon's roar resounded through the world. The nine-headed Wyrm pulled the divine chariot and rushed into the depths of the tribe. The rest of the people also soared into the sky and left the place. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses returned to the tribe the next day. When they arrived, they saw many corpses that had already turned extremely cold. Their expressions changed abruptly. They quickly rushed into the tribe and checked it out. The time of death was yesterday. All of them were killed in one hit. It was done by an expert. It should be the work of the cultivators who entered this place. There doesn't seem to be anything in this tribe that is worthy of such a vicious attack. Lin Feng's expression was extremely ugly. His eyes were filled with dense killing intent. Who was it that dared to do such a vicious thing? They should be hacked into pieces. He saw Alice's corpse. The little girl was covered in blood. Her heart had been pierced through by a sword. Lin Feng's heart was filled with sorrow and anger. The captain of the boat of curses came to Lin Feng's side and searched Alice's neck. His expression became increasingly ugly. What's wrong? Are you looking for something? Lin Feng asked. The Crystal of Hope. Someone stole the Crystal of Hope I gave you, Alice, and killed them, the captain of the boat of curses said. Hope Crystal? You even have such a thing? And you even gave it to Alice? Is there something wrong with your brain? Don't you know that treasuring a jade ring is a crime? Lin Feng grabbed the collar of the captain of the boat of curses. He really wanted to punch him a few times. However, Lin Feng's fist did not hit him in the end. The captain of the boat of curses also had good intentions. However, things did not go as he wished. I have already sealed the aura of the Hope Crystal. No one should be able to detect it unless they have seen other Hope Crystals before. That's why they can sense the aura of the Hope Crystal after coming here. The captain of the boat of curses was now trembling violently. The killing intent in his heart was difficult to suppress. I am the one who harmed Alice. I am the one who harmed them. I have let them down. No matter who did this, I will kill them all. I will exterminate his entire family and avenge Alice and the others. Chapter 41-32. The world is so cruel. Good people don't necessarily live long, and bad people don't necessarily die early either, Lin Feng said. The captain of the boat of curse said. Then I'll send all of them to hell. Lin Feng was also very angry. His heart was filled with murderous intent. He could understand how the captain of the boat of curse was feeling now. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse dug holes and buried these people's bodies. The captain of the boat of curse kept Alice's body in one of his space rings. "What are you doing?" Lin Feng frowned. "Back then I had a daughter who was about the same age as her," the captain of the boat of curse said. "I watched her die, but I couldn't save her." The captain of the boat of curse's voice was filled with endless sorrow. Perhaps there was nothing more painful than this. He watched his own child die, but he couldn't do anything about it. Everyone had a story. No matter if it was a good person or a bad person. Lin Feng finally understood why the captain of the boat of curse, who usually looked cold and ruthless, was so calm in front of Alice. It should be because he thought of his daughter. That was why he felt sad. Lin Feng didn't stop the captain of the boat of curse from keeping Alice's body. The captain of the boat of curse had extraordinary means. Perhaps he had his own reasons for keeping Alice's body. After burying the dead people in the tribe, Lin Feng took out all the dire beast meat they had stored. Then he lit the dire beast meat on fire. These people were very simple. Once they ate meat, they would be happy for many days. When Lin Feng thought of their simple and honest faces, he felt extremely sad. Life was hard when you were alive. After death, I hope you can eat as much meat as you want. If there is really an afterlife, I hope you can all be reincarnated into a good one. Lin Feng could not help but murmur to himself. After paying respects to these people, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse left. After Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse left, a mysterious man appeared. A mysterious man wearing a conical bamboo hat appeared in this place. Wearing coarse clothes, he began to wander around the graveyard. Then he sighed. "This clan! What a tragedy! What a pity! What a pity! If his bloodline hadn't collapsed! At least we won't be exterminated." The man shook his head and said. With a flick of his finger, a grayish-brown light emerged from the ground of the primitive tribe. Then, he collected it. He had no idea what that grayish-brown light was. After collecting the grayish-brown light, the mysterious man left as well. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse went around to find out what happened here. Because this was the only way to reach the depths of the ancient battlefield, there were many cultivators coming and going. It was unrealistic to kill the entire tribe silently. Someone must have seen the situation here in the dark. 5 days later, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse found out the news. This was a small team of 5 people. On the day of the incident, they happened to be in that area. However, when they saw Duguchen and the others arrive, they hid in the forest and did not come out to avoid unnecessary trouble. They only came out after Duguchen and the others left. Lin Feng gave each of them 100,000 immortal stones to buy their information. The person who did this is from the Undying Realm, and his background is frightening. He's the nephew of the Undying Realm's Celestial Emperor, Duguchen. The Celestial Emperor's nephew? Lin Feng could not help but raise his eyebrows slightly. The other party's background was frightening, but so what? Lin Feng did not care about it at all. Lin Feng and Di Wudao had a blood feud. Lin Feng had to kill Di Wudao. Therefore, Lin Feng and the Celestial Emperor's clan were destined to fight to the death. However, Lin Feng did not expect that the person who killed the primitive tribe would be the Celestial Emperor's nephew. As the saying goes, enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road. Duguchen! Duguchen! I'm going to tear this guy into pieces. The captain of the boat of curse's eyes were filled with killing intent. Brothers, no matter what grudges you have with Duguchen, don't provoke him. His identity is too extraordinary, and he has many experts around him. Anyone who dares to provoke Duguchen will die, the leader of the cultivators said. They did not stay for long and quickly left the place. Duguchen will definitely go to the ancient battlefield. Let's go there and see if he's there. If he's there, we'll kill him. A debt of blood must be paid with blood, Lin Feng said. Let's go, the captain of the boat of curse said. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse quickly flew in the direction of the ancient battlefield. A large number of cultivators had already gathered outside the ancient battlefield. When Duguchen arrived, he caused quite a stir. Duguchen's identity was too extraordinary. Many cultivators from the major forces even wanted to befriend him. But they restrained themselves in the end. Now was not the time to befriend Duguchen, and Duguchen was probably not interested in talking to them. Just as many people were observing Duguchen's huge team. At this moment, the void split open. A figure appeared. The person who stepped out of the void was the captain of the boat of curse. The captain of the boat of curse directly attacked the divine chariot that Duguchen was riding. "Protect the young master!" The faces of the surrounding guards changed, and they shouted coldly. "Buzz!" At this moment, the sword slashed the heavens and the earth. Dense sword light condensed and slashed at Duguchen's guards. Lin Feng made his move. He performed the man descending from the heavens, which could kill immortals with a single sword. It turned into an invincible sword light that destroyed the heavens and the earth. Clang, 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 pft, pft, pft. A series of clanging sounds and the sound of flesh being torn apart could be heard. As the voices fell, Li Tianlan's voice rang out. Cultivators were sent flying one after another. Those cultivators who were sent flying were all Emperor Realm experts. As for the Sage Emperor Realm cultivators, their bodies were torn apart on the spot, and they were instantly killed by Lin Feng. Lin Feng fought against 100 cultivators alone. He displayed his power and killed 87 cultivators. There were only 13 Sovereign Lord-level cultivators who had yet to be killed. Swoosh! Then, Lin Feng transformed into his original body and stood in the void like a peerless divine king, looking down at the heavens. "Oh my God, who is this person? How can he be so powerful? So many experts in the Undying Realm were killed in an instant. That's too cruel!" Many cultivators around were astonished. They looked at Lin Feng in astonishment. At this moment, the captain of the boat of curses' terrifying palm strike had already landed on the divine chariot that Duguchen was riding. Bang! Along with the sound of a violent collision, there was a loud sound. The divine chariot that Duguchen was riding on exploded instantly. Chapter 41-33. The fragments of the chariot were scattered all over the place, but Duguchen's body wasn't among them. Only the bodies of the 2 concubines were left, and they couldn't be any more dead. Swoosh! A few hundred meters away, a light flashed, and Duguchen appeared. Duguchen's means were quite shocking. He actually managed to dodge the attack of the captain of the boat of curses. This wasn't an easy feat. A cultivator who could do this definitely had some extraordinary means. After seeing Duguchen appear, the 13 Monarch Realm experts all flew towards Duguchen. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses were clearly not to be trifled with, so they had to ensure Duguchen's safety first. If Duguchen was killed, then even if they could return to the undying world alive, only death would await them. The surroundings were in an uproar. The combination of Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses was too strong. The fact that the 2 of them were challenging Duguchen's team was shocking. Nobody had seen Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses before, so they didn't know where they came from. Duguchen also had doubts about the identities of Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses. The Duga clan and the Heavenly Emperor's bloodline were allies. Although the Heavenly Emperor's bloodline was the ruler of the undying world, it didn't mean that the Heavenly Emperor's bloodline could control the undying world completely. The Heavenly Emperor's bloodline still held the imperial power, but there were also some forces that didn't get along with the Heavenly Emperor, such as the Heavenly Demon Clan and some Demon Clan. In Duguchen's opinion, ordinary people naturally wouldn't dare to provoke him. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses dared to attack him, so they might be experts from the Heavenly Emperor's bloodline. The Hope Crystal. Is it in your hands? The captain of the boat of curses looked at Duguchen coldly. When he saw Alice, the captain of the ship of curses thought of his daughter. Therefore, he had a feeling for Alice that others couldn't understand. Perhaps it was a kind of sustenance. The Hope Crystal. You actually know about it. Who are you? Chen's voice turned cold. The hope crystal is mine, the captain of the boat of curse said coldly. What a joke. Just because you say it's yours, it's yours? Now that the hope crystal is in my hands, it is mine, Chen sneered. Lin Feng said. F***CK. What an idiot! What he meant was, the hope crystal was originally his. He gave it to Alice. Can't you understand what I'm trying to say? You're practically a pig with a human head. I really don't know how you managed to cultivate to your current level. Human head and pig brain? The surrounding cultivators who were watching the show were all dumbfounded. Someone actually dared to use such words to humiliate Chen. It was really unbelievable. Anyone who was humiliated like this would probably be angered half to death. Chen was furious. His body was trembling violently. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He was the one who humiliated others. When had he ever been humiliated like this? Now that Lin Feng had called him a pig with a human head, Chen felt like killing someone. Lin Feng was now on Chen's kill list. Kid! You're dead! Heaven and earth! No one can save your life. Chen looked at Lin Feng with a venomous gaze. He then waved his hand. Instantly, the 13 sovereigns beside him summoned their flying swords. The flying swords they summoned were very unique. Each flying sword was very curved and pitch black in color. It was unknown what material they were made of. Each flying sword emitted a sinister and terrifying aura. That aura made one's hair stand on end. Combined treasures! And they're demonic treasures! Lin Feng squinted his eyes and looked at the flying swords summoned by the 13 sovereigns. Chen sneered. Kid, you're quite insightful. These 13 flying swords are made of 9 Serenity's purgatory steel. Each flying sword is a peak sovereign weapon. When the 13 flying swords are used together, their strength can be stacked and their power will be greatly increased. Let's see how the two of you will die. What? Is this the legendary 9 Serenity's purgatory sword formation? Rumor has it that it's a combined treasure created by an expert from the underworld. However, I've heard that there are a total of 24 flying swords in this set. When 24 peak sovereign weapon flying swords are used together, it's like a killer. They must be missing a part. After all, so many years have passed. It's normal for a part of the flying swords to be missing. Although the power of 13 flying swords is far from the power of 24 flying swords, the power of 13 flying swords together is terrifying enough. The two of them are very powerful, but if they don't have powerful treasures, they'll be in big trouble. That's true. In a battle between cultivators, it's not just based on cultivation. It also depends on the treasures they have. If the treasures are more powerful, even if their cultivation is not the opponent's, they might be able to kill their opponent. The spectating cultivators immediately began to discuss spiritedly. Slash! Chen said coldly. Slash! As soon as he finished speaking, the other 13 Emperor Lords shouted in unison. Then, the sovereigns controlled the 13 flying swords to attack Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curses. Lin Feng looked indifferent. He waved his hand and the 2 treasures, the sky-devouring jar and the gourd of fortune, flew out. Under Lin Feng's control, the sky-devouring jar enveloped the 13 flying swords. Its powerful devouring power wanted to devour the 13 flying swords. Everything had its weakness. The sky-devouring jar could forcefully devour all kinds of treasures and then erase the cultivator's imprint on the treasures. However, the 13 flying swords were too powerful. They shook violently but were not devoured by the sky-devouring jar. At this moment, Lin Feng's second Dharma treasure, the gourd of fortune, opened under his control. A powerful devouring power surged out from the gourd of fortune. Lin Feng knew that the sky-devouring jar might not be able to devour the 13 flying swords. Therefore, he took out the gourd of fortune to assist the sky-devouring jar. The gourd of fortune was different from the sky-devouring jar. The sky-devouring jar's main function was to devour treasures, while the gourd of fortune's main function was to devour cultivators. However, this did not mean that the sky-devouring jar could not devour cultivators. nor did it mean that the gourd of fortune could not devour treasures. Of course, the gourd of fortune could also devour all kinds of treasures. However, the suppression of treasures was not as strong as the suppression of cultivators. At this moment, the 13 flying swords were restrained by the sky-devouring jar. Therefore, the gourd of fortune did not expend much effort to devour the 13 peak emperor weapon-level powerful flying swords. Chapter 41-34. A smile appeared on Lin Feng's face after he collected such a powerful set of combined Dharma treasures. This set of combined Dharma treasures was definitely powerful. It would definitely be of great use. Their flying swords have been taken away by that kid's Dharma treasure. Everything in the world has its counter. That kid's Dharma treasure has completely suppressed their flying swords. I'm afraid Dugu-chun and the others are doomed. Many people began to discuss among themselves when they saw Lin Feng take out his Dharma treasure to take away the flying swords of Dugu-chan's subordinates. Lin Feng waved his hand and put away the gourd of fortune and the heaven-devouring jar. Then, he looked at Dugu-chan indifferently and said, "It seems like you won't be able to escape today. This princess's uncle is the celestial emperor. You dare to attack this young master? Did you eat a bear's heart or a leopard's gall? I think the two of you don't want to live anymore, do you?" Dugu-chan glared fiercely at Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curses. Ordinary people would be scared half to death when they heard the name of the Heavenly Emperor. However, Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curses were not afraid of the Heavenly Emperor at all. "You want to use the Heavenly Emperor to pressure us? How laughable! Sooner or later, I'll make the Heavenly Emperor kneel on the ground and wear my boots," Lin Feng said indifferently. After hearing Lin Feng's words, the surroundings fell silent. Lin Feng's words were too arrogant. He actually dared to say that the Heavenly Emperor would wear his boots for him. He really did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. It was a great insult to the Heavenly Emperor. Who was the Heavenly Emperor? He was the ruler of all heavens. He was a supreme figure. "Kid, you're courting death. Just you wait. I won't let you go. Let's go." After saying those words, Dugu-chan waved his hand and intended to leave. His action stunned the surrounding cultivators. Everyone thought Dugu-chan would attack in anger and lead the 13 Emperor-level experts to a fierce battle to the death with Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curses. Who would have thought that he would be so ruthless? However, when it came to the real battle, he was terrified. "Do you think you can escape?" Lin Feng sneered. He and the captain of the Boat of Curse chased after them. These people had killed so many people from the primitive tribe, they would definitely die. Even if they did not kill the primitive tribes, Lin Feng did not want to let them go. Who asked Dugu-chan to be the nephew of the Heavenly Emperor and the cousin of Di Wu Dao? He deserved to die. Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse were too fast. They soon caught up with these people. Seeing that there was no way to avoid them, Dugu-chan shouted coldly, "Help me stop these two guys. When we return to the Undying Realm, you will be heavily rewarded." The emperors naturally did not dare to disobey Dugu-chan. They all charged towards Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse. Dugu-chan took advantage of this opportunity to escape through the void. "You deal with these guys. I'll pull Dugu-chan out of the parallel space," Lin Feng said. "No problem." The captain of the Boat of Curse nodded. He walked in the void. Waves of terrifying curse energy spread out and enveloped the surrounding cultivators. The 13 emperors were all enveloped by the curse energy emitted by the captain of the Boat of Curse. The 13 emperors let out miserable shrieks. The curse energy emitted by the captain of the Boat of Curse caused great damage to their bodies. Their bodies were actually rotting bit by bit. They could only watch as their bodies continued to rot, but there was nothing they could do to stop it. These emperors could only wait for their deaths. Anyone who experienced this would feel a deep sense of despair and helplessness. "Spare my life, spare my life." The emperors begged the captain of the Boat of Curse, hoping that the captain of the Boat of Curse would let them go. However, the captain of the Boat of Curse did not care about their pleas at all. The captain of the boat of curse wanted nothing more than to cut these people into pieces. Even so, it was difficult to vent his hatred because the dead could not be revived. Soon, the bodies of those people were completely rotten. Then, the rotten flesh fell off from their bodies. This scene was too terrifying. It made people feel a chill down their spines. The surrounding cultivators who were watching the show felt a chill run down their spines. It was too terrifying. The captain of the boat of curses' methods had deeply shocked them. It made them feel waves of fear and unease. We don't want to die. The emperors of curse wailed. The emperors wailed. They wanted to live, but nothing could save their lives. In the end, their bodies turned into skeletons and lost their vitality. At this moment, Lin Feng, who had escaped into the parallel space, forced Duguchen out of the parallel space. Lin Feng then rushed out of the parallel space and punched at Duguchen. Bang! Following the violent collision, Lin Feng and Duguchen collided. Duguchen was forced back dozens of meters by Lin Feng. Duguchen's expression was extremely ugly. He looked at Lin Feng with a gloomy expression and said, "How can a lowly human cultivator like you be so powerful?" Lin Feng's eyes flashed with killing intent. He said coldly, "Don't forget that you're also a human. You should be cut into pieces for insulting the human race." Duguchen sneered and said, "I'm a great celestial cultivator. I'm a completely different race from a lowly human like you." Hee hee. What a self-righteous fellow. I wonder if the celestial ancestor will crawl out of his coffin after hearing what you said? Lin Feng mocked. Duguchen's expression darkened when he heard Lin Feng's mockery. He said coldly, "Brat, I can't be bothered to argue with you. I'll show you how powerful this young master is later. This guy seems to have some hidden techniques." The captain of the boat of curses stepped forward. Lin Feng nodded. "All of you should die." Duguchen's voice was filled with killing intent. Then, a violent fluctuation spread out from between his eyebrows. Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses couldn't help but frown when they sensed the fluctuation. They didn't know what other hidden techniques Duguchen had yet to use. Suddenly, Duguchen's eyes shot out a ball of holy light. Within the ball of holy light, an illusory figure appeared. It was an illusory figure that had been branded by an expert. The illusory figure emitted a terrifying power that could distort space and time. Chapter 4135. Immortal's Brand. Lin Feng frowned slightly. That was an Immortal's Brand. No wonder it was so powerful. Such an existence was not easy to deal with. It's not a simple Immortal's Brand. It might be even more terrifying than an Immortal's Brand, the captain of the boat of curses said. Duguchen said, "I didn't expect there to be someone who knows what's good for them. This is not a simple Immortal's Brand. To be precise, it's an Immortal Origin Avatar." Immortal Origin Avatar? What the hell is that? Lin Feng looked at Duguchen with a puzzled expression. The surrounding cultivators who were watching the show were also puzzled because they had never heard of an Immortal Origin Avatar. Hee hee, kid, you haven't even heard of an Immortal Origin Avatar. You're really ignorant. Let me tell you, an Immortal Origin Avatar is an avatar refined with immortal origin. Its power is incomparably terrifying. This Immortal Origin Avatar was personally refined by my father using his own origin and then planted in between my eyebrows. My father was worried that I would encounter danger and could not resolve it, so he used his immortal origin to refine an Immortal Origin Avatar for me. Originally, I did not want to use the avatar, but since the two of you are so eager to die, I'll use the avatar to kill the two of you. Duguchen's eyes flashed with chilling killing intent. Duguchen. Duguchen was very confident in his celestial source incarnation. Maybe in Duguchen's opinion, with this celestial source incarnation, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses would definitely die. Hee hee, what a joke. It's just an avatar, not the real body. Do you really think an avatar with immortal origin can deal with us? The captain of the boat of curses sneered with a disdainful expression. In the past, the captain of the boat of curses was an extremely terrifying existence. Ordinary people would not dare to provoke the captain of the boat of curses. The captain of the boat of curse was also a top expert in the all heavens. However, after countless years, the strength of the captain of the boat of curse had declined significantly. However, after awakening again, the captain of the boat of curse's cultivation base had increased significantly again. If the captain of the boat of curses still had his previous strength, he would have already killed Duguchin. Of course, even if the captain of the boat of curses didn't have his previous strength, he was still extremely proud. His past glory was still vivid in his mind. Moreover, the captain of the boat of curses was now cultivating the Great Fate spell. He had already begun to change his own destiny. Therefore, the captain of the boat of curses was very confident in himself. "Kill them all!" Duguchen ordered coldly. After receiving Duguchen's order, the immortal source incarnation let out a deep roar and leaped out, charging towards Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse. Across the void, the immortal source incarnation opened its hand and slammed towards Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse. "Leave the immortal source incarnation to me, you go and deal with Duguchen," the captain of the boat of curse said in a deep voice. "Can you deal with the immortal source incarnation alone?" Lin Feng asked. "Of course," the captain of the boat of curses said confidently. Lin Feng nodded and charged towards Duguchen while the captain of the boat of curses attacked the immortal source incarnation. Bang! Both sides slammed their palms against each other. What shocked Lin Feng was that the immortal source incarnation was too powerful. It sent the captain of the boat of curses flying with a single slap. After seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. This guy was so confident before, but in the blink of an eye, he was sent flying with a single slap. What a dramatic scene! "Release the curse shackles!" The captain of the boat of curses suddenly let out a deep voice. Next, his body emitted waves of extremely violent fluctuations, as if some seal was being unlocked in his body. As the seal was unlocked, the captain of the boat of curses' aura rose steadily. After feeling the powerful aura from the captain of the boat of curses' body, Lin Feng's face changed slightly. The captain of the boat of curses' concealment technique was really terrifying. The aura emitted from his body made Lin Feng shudder. However, it was normal. Although the captain of the boat of curses' cultivation had dropped significantly, he was still a top expert in the past. It was normal for him to have some concealment techniques. It would be strange if he didn't have any concealment techniques. "Go to hell!" The captain of the boat of curses, whose strength had increased by leaps and bounds, shouted coldly. He leaped out and attacked the immortal source incarnation. The captain of the boat of curses directly attacked the immortal source incarnation with a curse punch. The immortal source incarnation was not afraid at all. He also attacked the captain of the boat of curses with an invincible punch. His fist was surrounded by endless immortal chi. This punch was called the Heavenly Flying Immortal Fist. It was an extremely powerful divine ability. However, this punch was still lacking compared to the captain of the boat of curses. After they collided, the captain of the boat of curses did not move at all. Instead, the immortal source incarnation was sent flying. "Such powerful strength!" the surrounding cultivators exclaimed. The immortal source incarnation was so powerful, but it was still not a match for the captain of the boat of curses. The captain of the boat of curses was too powerful. Of course, they did not know the origin of the captain of the boat of curses. They were still guessing the origin of the captain of the boat of curses. "How is this possible?" Seeing this, Duguchen's face turned ugly. He was counting on the immortal source incarnation to kill Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curses. Who would have thought that the immortal source incarnation would be suppressed by the captain of the boat of curses? "Duguchen! Your life! Today, I will take it!" Lin Feng looked at Duguchen indifferently. He strode towards Duguchen with a murderous look in his eyes. He immediately used the supremacy of the 9 heavens and 10 earths technique and attacked Duguchen. At that moment, in the eyes of countless people, Lin Feng seemed to have transformed into an invincible monarch. A monarch. Looking down at the heavens, invincible in all directions. Like an immortal monarch, 10 worlds collapsed when he blinked his eyes. Heavenly. Human. Fist. Duguchen said coldly. Duguchen's voice was cold. He also used a powerful divine ability, the Heavenly Human Fist. This was a supreme divine ability passed down by the Heavenly Human Tribe. As one of the oldest Khanate human tribes, the Heavenly Human Tribe was still extremely powerful. The supreme divine ability passed down by this faction was naturally terrifying. The two divine abilities collided. What shocked everyone was that Duguchen's divine ability was instantly destroyed by Lin Feng. Duguchen was sent flying by Lin Feng, vomiting blood in the air. Chapter 41-36. Lin Feng's battle prowess was too shocking. No matter what, Duguchen was still the nephew of the Heavenly Emperor. He was from the Heavenly Human Tribe. How terrifying was the strength of such an existence! But at that moment, in front of Lin Feng, he couldn't even withstand a single attack. Moreover, Lin Feng was so young that everyone couldn't believe it. How could such a young man increase his cultivation? It was unbelievable. But all of this was the truth. Although Lin Feng was young, the battle prowess he displayed was too shocking. No, no, no! How can I possibly lose to an ant like you? Duguchen roared furiously. His face was distorted. He couldn't accept what had happened in front of him. He had always been an extremely proud person, but now, he had been defeated by Lin Feng. Of course, even if he had lost, it wasn't something unacceptable. But the key point was that Duguchen had lost too miserably. Lin Feng had completely crushed him. It would be strange if Duguchen could withstand such a blow. Duguchen couldn't wait to tear Lin Feng apart. At the same time, he was deeply jealous of Lin Feng. In his opinion, the Heavenly Human Tribe was a high and mighty race that countless people looked up to and envied. Duguchen was from the Heavenly Human Tribe, so he had always thought highly of himself and looked down on other races. The race that Duguchen looked down on the most was the Human Tribe. But now, he had been injured by a human cultivator, Lin Feng. It was a great humiliation. Is this the so-called Heaven's Pride of the Heavenly Human Tribe? How pitifully weak! Such a cultivation is no different from an ant in front of me. Lin Feng looked at Duguchen with a mocking gaze. Duguchen was already extremely depressed and sullen. He gritted his teeth in hatred. Now, after hearing Lin Feng's mocking, he became even more furious. Brat, it's too early for you to be proud. Duguchen's eyes flickered with dense killing intent as he said, Now I'll let you experience the Celestial Tribe's 9 transformations of heaven. 9 transformations of heaven and man? Oh my God! Duguchen actually cultivated this divine ability? Is the 9 transformations of heaven very powerful? Of course it's powerful. It's said that the 9 transformations of heaven and man allows one to transform 9 times. With each transformation, one's battle prowess will increase significantly. If it transforms 9 times in a row, it will definitely be extremely heaven-defying. I wonder what transformation Duguchen has reached in his 9 transformations of heaven and man? If he cultivates it to an extremely high level, that kid might not be Duguchen's match. The surrounding cultivators began discussing amongst themselves. Every one of them was expressing their own opinions. Every one of them was paying close attention to the suffocating situation. The first transformation of the 9 transformations of heaven and man. Holy power transformation. Duguchen let out a series of deep roars. After his voice fell, a large amount of holy light surged out of Duguchen's body and crackling sounds came from his body. The crackling sounds were like the sound of bones cracking violently. A terrifying aura surged out from Duguchen's body. The aura that surged out from Duguchen's body was many times stronger than before. Duguchen, who had displayed the first transformation of the 9 transformations of heaven, was many times stronger than before. Duguchen did not stop there. After displaying the first transformation of the 9 transformations of heaven, Duguchen proceeded to display the second transformation of the 9 transformations of heaven. The second transformation of heaven and man was called the Saint Origin transformation. Once it was used, one's battle prowess would increase greatly. This was the terrifying aspect of the 9 transformations of heaven and man. It would constantly increase one's battle prowess, and this increase would cause one's opponent to despair. After using the second transformation of heaven and man, Duguqin used the third transformation of heaven and man. The third transformation of heaven and man was called the Saint Soul transformation. After using the third transformation of heaven and man, Duguqin's battle prowess increased greatly again. At the current stage, Duguqin could only use the third transformation of heaven and man. He couldn't use the remaining 6 transformations. However, even though he could only use the first 3 transformations, it was still terrifying enough. After sensing the aura emitted from Duguqin's body, Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. Of course, Lin Feng only frowned slightly. He admitted that the 9 transformations of heaven and man was very powerful, but it wasn't enough to catch Lin Feng's attention. Lin Feng also had a lot of means, and many of them were extremely terrifying. Brat, have you thought about how you want to die? Duguqin's sinister eyes looked at Lin Feng. With his strength greatly increased, Duguqin leaped out and quickly attacked Lin Feng. Limitless Universal Art. Duguqin snorted and used a powerful ability. When he used this ability, an image of the heavens and the universe appeared above him. The multiverse ruled the world and devoured everything. An infinite divine diagram was formed in the universe, and it contained billions of great Daos. The multiverse suppressed Lin Feng while the diagram swept towards Lin Feng. After sensing Duguqin's powerful technique, many people couldn't help but be horrified. Duguqin's technique was too powerful. It made their hair stand on end. They were just standing in the periphery, and they could already sense the qi of that skill. They couldn't imagine how Lin Feng would feel under the pressure of that skill. Many people felt that Duguqin was too strong and that Lin Feng might be defeated. At this time, Lin Feng made his move. Lin Feng waved his hand and an illusory divine gate appeared in the sky. It was surrounded by a boundless radiance and emitted violent ripples. It was the door of everlasting life. Ever since Lin Feng mastered the method to summon the door of everlasting life, this was the first time he used it against an enemy. The shadow of the door of everlasting life descended from the sky and pressed down on Duguqin. In an instant, the heavens universe and the Wuji divine diagram that Duguqin had conjured crumbled. The attack was on a completely different level. The seemingly powerful heavens universe and the Wuji divine diagram did not even have the power to resist before the shadow of the door of everlasting life. Everyone was shocked. Wasn't Lin Feng's attack too powerful? At this time, the illusory door of everlasting life directly suppressed Duguqin and sent him flying. Crack! Crack! With the sound of bones cracking, countless bones in Duguqin's body were broken. Lin Feng quickly flew over and used the grand suppression art to suppress Duguqin in the void. Chapter 41-37. Let me go, let me go, my uncle is the Heavenly Emperor, you dare to suppress me, are you crazy? Do you not want to live any more? If you dare to touch me, my uncle will not let you go. Duguqin began to struggle violently. He roared as he struggled, his eyes filled with hatred. Lin Feng's face was cold and emotionless, he looked at Duguqin coldly. One was a defeated opponent, the other was a prisoner. Lin Feng did not bother with this guy. He looked at the battle between the captain of the Boat of Curse and the Immortal Source Incarnation. After the captain of the Boat of Curse unlocked the curse shackles, his battle strength had greatly increased, so the Immortal Source Incarnation was not his match. Of course, the Immortal Source Incarnation was also very powerful. It was not easy for the captain of the Boat of Curse to destroy the Immortal Source Incarnation in a short period of time. After the two sides fought for dozens of rounds, the captain of the Boat of Curse unleashed a Fate God Fist. He sent the Immortal Source Incarnation flying with one punch, while powerful Fate power poured into the Immortal Source Incarnation's body continuously. The Immortal Source Incarnation's body immediately began to crack. Seeing this, Lin Feng's mind was slightly shaken. It seemed that the immortal source incarnation was about to be destroyed by the captain of the boat of curse. At this moment, the immortal source incarnation's body burned. As the body burned, the immortal source incarnation's cultivation greatly increased. Then the Xianyuan incarnation pounced towards the captain of the boat of curse. However, the immortal source incarnation still could not do anything to the captain of the boat of curse. He was sent flying again. Immediately, the captain of the boat of curse rushed in front of the immortal source incarnation and punched at it. With a loud bang, the powerful punch landed on the immortal source incarnation's body, and the immortal source incarnation's body directly exploded. It disappeared on the spot. These two are too cruel. They actually killed so many experts, and now they have captured Dugu Chen. They are not really going to kill Dugu Chen, are they? Dugu Chen is the nephew of the Sky Emperor. If we kill Dugu Chen, we will become enemies with the Sky Emperor. At that time, both sides will fight to the death. But from the tone and attitude of these two people, they seem to be fearless. We still need to observe how these two will deal with Dugu Chen. The group of cultivators began to discuss spiritedly. Everyone looked at Lin Feng, the captain of the boat of curse, and Dugu Chen. Lin Feng took Dugu Chen's storage ring. This guy had an extraordinary background, so he must have some powerful treasures on him. And these treasures were the treasures that Lin Feng coveted. Lin Feng forcibly extinguished the spiritual sense that Dugu Chen had left on the storage ring. Dugu Chen immediately let out a tragic cry. Lin Feng's spiritual sense entered the storage ring, and there were all kinds of treasures piled up like a mountain. Now was not the time to check what these treasures were, so he only took a cursory look and kept the storage ring. As for the captain of the boat of curse, he did not seem to be interested in the treasures. In that case, he would not force him to share Dugu Chen's treasures with him. The captain of the boat of curse flew over and pulled the pendant with the hope crystal from Dugu Chen's neck. He held the pendant tightly in his hand, and then looked at Dugu Chen coldly. "Spare me! Spare me!" Dugu Chen was afraid now, because he felt a strong killing intent from Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse. These two people really wanted to kill him, and they really dared to kill him. The identity and family that he was proud of in the past, and so on. Now, they could not help him at all, and Dugu Chen was very clear about this. Now, Dugu Chen only hoped that Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse would be afraid of the power behind him, and then let him live. But obviously, Lin Feng and the captain of the boat of curse did not intend to let him go at all. Dugu Chen was a scum among scums. Killing him was also a good thing for the people. If they did not kill him, how could they comfort Alice, Amosen, and so many innocent people in the primitive tribe? So, Dugu Chen. He must die. No one in the world could save his life. Let me deal with him. The captain of the boat of curse looked at Lin Feng and said, "Of course." Lin Feng nodded. He stepped aside. Swish. With a flash of light, a sharp knife appeared in the captain's hand. Stone-cutting knife. This was a knife used to cut all kinds of stones. Now, it was taken out by the captain of the boat of curse. It seemed that the captain of the boat of curse was very interested in stone cutting, otherwise he would not have brought such a knife with him. Now, this knife was going to be used by the captain of the boat of curse to execute Dugu Chen. Puff! 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 The stone-cutting knife spun like a butterfly in the hands of the captain of the boat of curse. With the sound of tearing, everyone saw that Dugu Chen's flesh was cut into pieces by the captain of the boat of curse. The captain of the boat of curse was too cruel, but in Lin Feng's eyes, it was really cool. To deal with the enemy, one had to use the cruelest means. If one showed mercy to the enemy, one would be a saint. "Just you wait, all of you will die a horrible death," Yifutian said. Dugu Chen roared with resentment. The captain of the boat of curse did not care about Dugu Chen at all, and the knife in his hand spun faster and faster. In the end, Dugu Chen was cut into pieces by the captain of the boat of curse. After Dugu Chen was killed. Undying Realm. In the origin spirit lamp hall of the Dugu clan, Dugu Chen's origin spirit lamp shattered. Dugu Chen's status in the Dugu clan was extremely high. Not only was he the son of the Duga clan's patriarch, but he was also the nephew of the Heavenly Emperor. His death almost scared the guards of the Origin Spirit Lamp Hall to death. The guard commander's face was covered in sweat as he hurried to report the matter. Duga Chen's father was called Duga Tianhao. This person was a loose immortal level expert. At this moment, he was cultivating in the Heavenly Palace. Something big has happened! Something big has happened! The guard commander of the Origin Spirit Lamp Hall came to the Heavenly Palace and shouted with a pale face. Duga Tianhao's personal guards were guarding outside. The guard commander looked at the guard commander and scolded coldly. Impudent! How dare you disturb the Lord's cultivation? Are you tired of living? Chapter 4138. Captain, something has happened to the young master. Something big has happened, the guard commander said with a pale face. Duga Tianhao only had one son, and he was the nephew of the Celestial Emperor. Back then, there were several powerful people in the Duga clan who fought for the position of clan leader. Duga Tianhao wasn't the strongest, and he wasn't the most favored either, so why did he become the clan leader? It was because the Celestial Emperor was Duga Tianhao's brother-in-law. Otherwise, Duga Tianhao wouldn't have been able to become the clan leader. Everyone knew how much Duga Tianhao doted on his son, Duga Qin. Therefore, when the captain heard that something had happened to Duga Qin, he didn't dare to be negligent. He said, "Wait here, I'll go report to the clan leader." "Yes," the guard commander hurriedly said. At that moment, a voice came from the palace. "Speak, what's the matter?" After hearing this voice, everyone couldn't help but show a respectful expression because the owner of this voice was none other than Duga Tianhao, the patriarch of the Duga clan and Duga Chen's father. The captain directly knelt on the ground and said with a grief-stricken voice, "Reporting to the clan leader. Young Master Chen's soul lamp has been extinguished." When a soul lamp was extinguished, it meant that the person was dead. This was the origin of the saying, "When a person dies, the lamp goes out." Therefore, when they heard that Duga Chen's soul lamp had been extinguished, everyone's expression suddenly changed. "What? Chener's soul lamp has been extinguished?" Duga Tianhao's voice instantly became cold. It was clearly the heat of the 9th month, but in the blink of an eye, it felt like winter had arrived. Everyone could feel the anger and killing intent in Duga Tianhao's heart. Duga Qin was his only son. Apart from being related by blood, Duga Qin was also the link between him and the Celestial Emperor. Now that Duga Qin had been killed, the impact on Duga Tianhao was too great. Duga Tianhao was going crazy with anger. Swoosh! With a flash of light, Duga Tianhao disappeared from the palace. When Duga Tianhao appeared again, he was already inside the Origin Spirit Lamp Hall. "Clan leader!" Seeing the sudden appearance of Duga Tianhao, everyone knelt on the ground and saluted him. Duga Tianhao's expression was incomparably gloomy. Hence, he did not bother with the people around him. He looked at Duga Chen's primordial spirit lamp. It was indeed as the guard commander had said. Duga Chen's essence soul lamp had been extinguished. Duga Chen had died outside. This time, Duga Tianhao was very much in favor of Duga Chen going out to train. But for Duga Chen's safety. Thinking of this, Duga Tianhao sent a large number of experts to follow Duga Chen, and even used Immortal Source to refine Immortal Source clones. Logically speaking, even if there was danger, the Immortal Source incarnation should be able to protect Duga Chen, but that was not the case. To be able to kill so many experts around Duga Chen, and even destroy his own Immortal Source clone, one could see how powerful the other party was. "Men!" Duga Tianhao's cold voice sounded. "Milord!" A guard stepped forward. "Go and invite my 2 sworn brothers, the twin killers of the Dark Wind!" Duga Tianhao ordered with a gloomy expression. The twin killers of the Dark Wind was a terrifying existence that could be ranked in the top 10 among the rogue cultivators in the Undying Realm. It was said that these two had already broken through to the Immortal Realm, and their strength was unfathomable. This time, Duga Chen's death was obviously not something an Emperor-level cultivator could do. They had to be at least a sub-immortal realm existence. Therefore, Dugu Tianhao did not send an emperor level or a sub-immortal to investigate this matter. Instead, he wanted his two sworn brothers to investigate this matter. The twin killers of the Dark Wind had a notorious reputation. They were both evil cultivators. In the past, the two of them even refined billions of innocent people to death in order to cultivate demonic techniques. It could be seen that these two were existences that killed without batting an eyelid. Such existences were vicious and merciless, and were very suitable to complete the mission Dugu Tianhao gave them. Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse did not know what happened in the Undying Realm. After the captain of the Boat of Curse cut Dugu Qin into pieces, Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse felt a little better. However, the dead could not be revived. Even if they killed these people, they could not revive the dead. Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse left the area, and they continued to wait for the ancient battlefield to open. 3 days later. Rumble! 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 Earth-shaking sounds came from above the ancient battlefield. Then, an endless amount of black gas spread out. The black gas directly condensed into a huge demonic gate. That demonic gate should be the space-time gate to enter the ancient battlefield. The ancient battlefield is finally opening. Many cultivators' faces were filled with joy. The ancient battlefield had opened, and everyone could enter the ancient battlefield to search for opportunities. Swoosh! 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 Cultivators quickly flew toward the huge space-time gate. They flew into the space-time gate, and then quickly disappeared without a trace. They were probably teleported to an unknown place by the space-time gate. Lin Feng and the captain of the Boat of Curse also soared into the sky, and flew toward the huge space-time gate. They entered the space-time gate, and immediately felt a powerful space-time force wrap around their bodies, wanting to teleport them out. Swoosh! There was a flash of light, and Lin Feng found himself in a primeval forest. The captain of the Boat of Curse was nowhere to be found. He was probably teleported to another place. The primeval forest was pitch black, and it emitted a gloomy and terrifying aura. Lin Feng saw a huge skeleton in the distance. When he took a closer look, it was actually the skeleton of a huge dragon. It should be the skeleton left behind from the war back then. Lin Feng flew toward the skeleton of the huge dragon. He wanted to see if there were any treasures like dragon crystals and dragon cores. Lin Feng arrived at the skeleton of the dragon, but he did not find anything like dragon crystals and dragon cores. Just as he was about to leave, Lin Feng suddenly felt a chilly wind blowing in the forest. Lin Feng's face sank. The chilly wind made him feel extremely uneasy. "I can't stay here for long." Lin Feng could not help but mutter to himself. He quickly flew into the distance. Lin Feng left the area, but his heart was suddenly shrouded by a shadow. Lin Feng felt as if something was spying on him in the dark. It was a terrible feeling. Lin Feng searched with his divine consciousness, but he found nothing. Then, he opened his Eye of Origin, wanting to use it to see if there was anything unclean around him. Chapter 4139. When Lin Feng opened his Eye of Origin, he still couldn't find anything. This made Lin Feng frown. Lin Feng had always been extremely confident in his senses, so he felt that something must be watching him. However, after searching for a while, he couldn't find anything. This was too strange. Either he made a wrong judgment, or the existence hiding in the dark was too powerful, so he couldn't find him. Lin Feng felt that there should be only these two possibilities. There were absolutely no other possibilities. Lin Feng naturally hoped that he made a wrong judgment, but the probability of this happening was far lower than the probability of the existence in the dark being so powerful that he couldn't find him. Lin Feng felt that he had to find a way to lure that guy out and see what that guy was. Otherwise, he would only be unable to sleep and eat in peace. It was a pity that the captain of the Boat of Curse wasn't around now. If this guy was, Lin Feng might be able to find something because the means of the captain of the boat of curse were so amazing that even Lin Feng couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. But the key was that the captain wasn't here. Lin Feng could only rely on his own ability to find that guy's figure. Not long after night fell, Lin Feng leaned against a big tree and closed his eyes. As time passed, Lin Feng's breathing gradually became even. He seemed to have fallen into a deep sleep. At this moment, a weak chilling wind blew in the forest. Then, a black shadow appeared silently and shrouded Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't know what that black shadow was, but at that moment, Lin Feng was about to be enveloped by it. Suddenly, Lin Feng, who had fallen asleep, opened his eyes. Keek keek! The black shadow let out a sinister laugh and continued to pounce on Lin Feng. The distance between the two sides was too close. Lin Feng seemed to have no way to avoid it. He took a risk to lure this existence out. Now that he had lured it out, Lin Feng was also in trouble. When Lin Feng was about to be swallowed by the black shadow, 4 types of domineering aura gushed out from Lin Feng's body. The 4 types of domineering aura overlapped, forming a powerful magnetic field that protected Lin Feng. Now, Lin Feng had cultivated the Supreme Domineering Aura, White Tiger Domineering Aura, Azure Dragon Domineering Aura, and Epic Domineering Aura. After the 4 types of Domineering Aura overlapped, the power of the 4 types of Domineering Aura was very strong. Domineering Aura was originally a powerful attack and defense method. So, when Lin Feng suddenly released his Domineering Aura, the black shadow didn't react in time. Lin Feng's domineering aura ruthlessly crashed into the black shadow. The black shadow was sent flying by the domineering aura gushing out from Lin Feng's body. Seeing this, Lin Feng's face lit up with joy. He leaped up and directly activated the 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram, sweeping it towards the black shadow. 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram. First, suppress the foreign creatures. Second, destroy the epic remnant race. Third, seal the undead creatures. Fourth, destroy the undead creatures of the underworld. Fifth, destroy the epic traitor. Sixth, kill the false gods. Although Lin Feng didn't know what this black shadow was, Lin Feng felt that it was very likely to be an undead type existence. When the 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram flew to the side of the black shadow and swept towards it, the black shadow stretched out its sharp claws and clashed with the 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram. The 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram was actually unable to harm the black shadow. Instead, Lin Feng's 3 pure 8 trigrams diagram was swept away by the black shadow's claws. Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. It seemed that this existence shouldn't be any of the 6 types of living beings. The origin of this existence in front of him was really mysterious. What exactly are you? Lin Feng looked at this terrifying existence with a gloomy expression. Keek keek! A sinister voice sounded. Said the black silhouette. He didn't reply to Lin Feng's question. Instead, he threw himself at Lin Feng again. Lin Feng's expression darkened slightly. He took out a dozen or so powerful magic treasures and attacked the black shadow. Clang, 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 however, a series of violent collisions rang out. The black shadow collided with Lin Feng's many magic treasures, and actually sent Lin Feng's magic treasures flying. Lin Feng's face was filled with incomparable shock. This guy was definitely at the immortal realm. Otherwise, it couldn't have sent so many of his magic treasures flying. The reason why Lin Feng came to this conclusion was because he felt that even a sub-immortal realm expert wouldn't have it easy when faced with the attacks of his magic treasures. If they weren't careful, they could be seriously injured or even killed by his magic treasures. But this guy in front of him? He could actually send his magic treasures flying so easily. This was enough to explain too many things. Lin Feng recalled his magic treasures, and then he quickly flew into the distance. Meanwhile, the black shadow disappeared without a trace. However, Lin Feng could clearly sense it. That black shadow was definitely hiding in the dark. That guy! He was secretly observing him. Therefore, Lin Feng didn't dare to stop. Demon Lord, what the hell do you think that guy is? Lin Feng asked with an ugly expression. It's hard to say. He's very evil. You'd better think of a way to get rid of him quickly. If you drag this on for too long, it's obviously extremely disadvantageous for you. The demon lord transmitted his voice. Hearing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but nod. He sped up, but the feeling of being watched still didn't dissipate. Suddenly, Lin Feng saw a sparkling light appear in front of him. He didn't know what it was. He sped up and rushed forward. He saw a broken wall appear in his line of sight. It was actually a dilapidated temple. This temple should also be the temple that was destroyed in the battle back then. However, he didn't know who this temple worshipped back then. Such a dilapidated temple naturally couldn't help Lin Feng scare off the black shadow. Lin Feng continued to rush deeper into the ruins. In the deepest part of the ruins, there was a temple that hadn't completely collapsed. Hee, big brother, you've been targeted by another monster. At that moment, a laughter sounded from the dilapidated temple. Next, a little girl who looked to be about 5 or 6 years old walked out of the temple. The little girl was very delicate and very cute. Lin Feng frowned. A little girl had actually appeared here. Lin Feng originally wanted to sense the little girl's age, but he couldn't sense anything. Lin Feng noticed that the feeling of being watched by the black shadow disappeared after the little girl appeared. This greatly shocked Lin Feng. Could it be that the little girl scared off the black shadow? Chapter 4140. Who are you? Lin Feng asked the little girl. Hee. Can't you tell? I'm a cute little fairy, the little girl said with a smile. Her jade-like face coupled with her innocent smile made her look like a little angel. Lin Feng asked, Little fairy, where did you come from? Take a guess, the little girl said. I can't guess. Could it be the Undying Realm? Lin Feng asked the little girl. Of course it's not the Undying Realm. The little girl giggled. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter in his heart. If the little girl didn't come from the Undying Realm, then where did she come from? Lin Feng noticed that the little girl didn't seem to want to tell him her origin. Otherwise, she would have told him long ago instead of letting him guess. Lin Feng asked. You said that the thing following me is a nether monster. What is a nether monster? Can you tell me? Lin Feng asked. The little girl said, Nether monsters are a very special kind of life form. No one knows their origin, but they are extremely evil. It is said that after being targeted by a nether monster, they will have to do something for the nether monster. After completing the task, the nether monster will cut open the person's chest and dig out the person's heart. There's such a thing? Lin Feng couldn't help sucking in a cold breath. This kind of nether monster was really strange. However, Lin Feng soon thought of something. He had heard about Amosun's ancestor before. Ever since Amosun's ancestor obtained the stone block, he had entered the ancient battlefield several times, seemingly searching for something. However, his clansmen didn't know what he was looking for. The last time he came out, his chest had been cut open and his heart had been dug out. However, he didn't even know that his chest had been cut open and his heart had been dug out. The whole thing was full of mysteries and unknowns. Thinking about it now made one's hair stand on end. This situation was exactly the same as what the little girl had said. Could it be that Amosun's ancestor had been targeted by another monster? Amosun also mentioned something else. The last time his ancestor entered the ancient battlefield, it was a rainy night. Vaguely, some clansmen saw a black figure enter the ancient battlefield with Amosun's ancestor. Due to the darkness and the heavy rain, no one could clearly see who the black figure was. However, they were sure that it wasn't someone from their tribe. Lin Feng compared what he heard with the little girl's explanation. Lin Feng immediately discovered something frightening. Could the existence that entered the ancient battlefield with Amosun's ancestor be another monster? Thinking about that, Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. Lin Feng remembered the stone block he had obtained. Was there a connection between the netherworld monster and the stone block he had obtained? Big brother, your complexion doesn't look good, said the little girl. Lin Feng looked at the little girl and said, I obtained a stone block. Can you help me take a look? Of course, said the little girl. Lin Feng took out the stone block. When the little girl saw the stone block, her eyes lit up. Do you recognize this stone block? Lin Feng asked without batting an eyelid. It seems to be the legendary. At this point, the little girl quickly shut her mouth. What is it? Lin Feng asked anxiously. I don't dare to say. It won't do me any good. However, I heard that this stone block killed the first time god back then, said the little girl. When Lin Feng heard the little girl, his hands started shaking. What kind of terrifying existence was the first-generation time god? Yet he actually died under the attack of this stone block? Was this little girl joking? Is what you said true? Lin Feng asked. Of course not. I'm just joking with Big Brother. Big Brother, don't be so surprised, said the little girl with a smile. Lin Feng smiled bitterly. How could such a joke be made so casually? It was scary. It could really scare someone to death. I won't talk to you anymore. There seems to be some good stuff in the temple. Those good things are all mine, said the little girl. Lin Feng put away the stone block. When he heard the little girl's words, his eyes lit up. He asked, Good stuff? What good stuff? You can come in and take a look, but that's all. I can't give it to you, said the little girl. After saying that, the little girl took the lead and entered the temple. Lin Feng also walked toward the temple. Although the temple was very dilapidated, it hadn't collapsed yet. There was still a faint divine power that hadn't dissipated. Perhaps that divine power was protecting the temple, which was why it hadn't collapsed. Lin Feng arrived at the entrance of the temple. He stood at the door and looked inside. Lin Feng didn't go in. The little girl revealed a sweet smile and said, Come in. Why don't you come in? Why are you standing at the door? Lin Feng said. I'll just take a look outside. If Big Brother comes in, maybe I'll give Big Brother some treasures, said the little girl. Forget it. These treasures are all yours. I won't take the treasures that you obtained with great difficulty, Lin Feng said. What if I insist on giving them to Big Brother? Said the little girl. She walked toward the outside, seemingly wanting to pull Lin Feng into the temple. Lin Feng quickly retreated, putting some distance between him and the little girl. Big Brother, what do you mean by this? Asked the little girl. Lin Feng smiled and said, It's like this. I remember that I have something to take care of, so I don't plan on staying here. Thank you for helping me scare away the nether monsters. Let's part ways here. Lin Feng was about to leave when he finished speaking. However, the little girl suddenly shrieked. Brat, you can't leave! You can't leave without my permission! The little girl's voice was very ear-piercing. Following that, boundless evil energy emitted from the little girl's body. The evil energy rolled violently. The little girl was covered by the evil energy, so Lin Feng couldn't see what was happening to her. However, Lin Feng soon saw the little girl's situation clearly. The little girl had turned into a large black spider. The large spider was tied with more than a dozen chains, and the other ends of the chains were wrapped around the 4 pillars of the temple. Chapter 41-41. From a beautiful little girl to an incomparably ugly spider demon, this contrast was simply too great. Lin Feng could not help but roll his eyes. Why? 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 Why don't you come in? The spider demon screamed in anger. Her voice was even more unpleasant than the cries of evil spirits. After hearing the little girl's words, Lin Feng said indifferently, Because I suspect you. Suspect me? What did I do to arouse your suspicion? The spider demon could not help but scream, wanting to know where she had exposed herself. Lin Feng said indifferently, Because you're pretending to be young, I'm pretending to be young? The spider demon could not help but feel doubtful. She felt that there was no problem with her disguise. Even though she had been exposed by Lin Feng, she did not feel that there was a problem with her disguise. The little girl she had turned into was innocent, cute, and adorable. She was so lovable. How could there be a flaw in her disguise? Lin Feng said indifferently. If you're really a little girl, then it's impossible for you to know so many things. The spider demon said. How laughable. Even if I'm a little girl, what's so strange about knowing so many things? Perhaps someone else told me about it. So, isn't it normal for me to know these things? Fine. Even if that's the case, you're still so young. Anyone would find it inconceivable that you were able to scare the nether monsters away. Even if you started cultivating in your mother's womb, it's impossible for you to be so powerful. Lin Feng continued. Hee hee. Maybe a peerless expert passed down his cultivation to me? The spider demon said. A peerless expert passed down his cultivation to you? That's indeed a possibility. However, even if everything you said is true, there's one thing that's not true. Lin Feng said indifferently. What is it? The spider demon asked, puzzled. You should consider the logic of a 5 or 6-year-old child. Children of this age are just beginning to remember things. No matter how smart they are, they're still children. Their logical thinking ability is still in the beginning stages of development. Since that's the case, then children's words must be very imaginative. Perhaps a smarter child's logic is stronger, but they can't be like a normal adult. Every sentence they say is watertight. Lin Feng said indifferently. Hee hee, you're observant enough. The spider demon's sinister eyes looked at Lin Feng. Said Lin Feng indifferently. It's not that I'm observant, it's just that you have too many flaws. If you had only one flaw, maybe I would have been fooled, but when you have too many flaws, I'm very suspicious. As for me, I've always believed in my own feelings. Even if you don't have any flaws, if you arouse my suspicion, I'll still stay away from you. Good boy. Do you think you can escape? Then you are gravely mistaken. It's impossible for you to escape. You're doomed to die. As soon as it finished speaking, the spider demon spat out a large number of silk threads, which wrapped around Lin Feng. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He quickly dodged the silk threads flying towards him. However, the silk threads were very strange. They pierced through the void and arrived in front of Lin Feng in an instant. Then, they wrapped around Lin Feng's body. Hee hee hee. Boy, I said you couldn't escape. You really can't escape, right? Have you thought about how you're going to die? The spider demon laughed sinisterly. Its voice was so sinister and terrifying. The spider demon's huge head suddenly exerted force. Lin Feng's body was pulled towards the spider demon. The situation was dangerous. Lin Feng quickly took out his heavenly fire. The heavenly fire ignited the spider web and burned fiercely. Although the silk threads spat out by the spider demon were powerful, they were restrained by Lin Feng's heavenly fire. After the silk threads burned, their power was greatly reduced. Lin Feng suddenly pulled. The silk threads broke. He quickly retreated. He put some distance between himself and the spider demon. Boy, you can't escape. You can't escape. The spider demon roared and began to frantically pull at the chains on its body. Rumble! Rumble! The entire temple was shaking violently. As for the chains, runes were intertwined with each other. Countless runes bombarded the spider demon's body. The spider demon's outer shell was shattered by the runes. The spider demon was dripping with blood and looked very miserable. However, the spider demon did not give up. Instead of being trapped here, I might as well give it a try. The spider demon continued to scream. It continued to struggle. More and more terrifying runes surged out of the chains. The spider demon was suffering more and more damage. The situation was bad for the spider demon. It was very bad. Seeing the spider demon in such a miserable state, Lin Feng could not help but sigh. This spider demon probably had a very ancient history. Unfortunately, this was no longer its era. Even if it escaped, it would probably be eliminated by the times. Lin Feng did not continue to stay here. He quickly left this place. He did not want to know what happened to the spider demon. He would let it fend for itself. The primeval forest was extremely dense. On the second day, Lin Feng finally saw the figures of cultivators. He saw more than a dozen cultivators working together to explore this ancient battlefield. The cultivators dug up more than a dozen cultivators' corpses in a valley. Those corpses should be the bodies of experts who died in the great battle. The corpses had long decayed, leaving only the bones that had not been destroyed. They wanted to collect the storage rings on the hands of the bones, but at that moment, the bones came to life and killed more than a dozen cultivators in an instant. Has the apocalypse arrived? One of the skeletons said. It should be. Otherwise, we wouldn't have woken up. A second skeleton said. Back then, we died so miserably. A third skeleton said. The hunt has officially begun. A fourth skeleton said. The group of skeletons laughed eerily. Damn, how did these skeletons come to life? Moreover, from what they said, it seems that when they died, they already knew that when the apocalypse arrived, they would come back to life. What happened in the past? How did they know something that would happen in the future? Lin Feng's face was full of confusion. There's someone else. Suddenly, a skeleton looked in Lin Feng's direction. Its eyes flickered eerily. Not good, I've been discovered. Lin Feng's expression changed slightly, and he quickly flew into the distance. Kid, leave your life here. The group of skeletons laughed eerily, then quickly chased after Lin Feng. Chapter 41-42. Brat, don't run! Stop right there! A group of skeletons quickly chased after Yishiwen, emitting sinister voices. The skeletons were extremely fast, chasing after Lin Feng relentlessly. It was quite troublesome to shake them off. Luckily, Lin Feng was fast enough and managed to get rid of those skeletons. As expected of an ancient battlefield. There are so many evil things happening here. Those skeletons are really scary. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. He didn't know where the captain of the boat of curses had gone. Lin Feng was still waiting to meet up with the captain so that they could search for the treasures left behind by the devils. Of course, Lin Feng wasn't in a hurry. He believed that even if he didn't go looking for the captain would take the initiative to come looking for him. Lin Feng chose a direction and flew quickly. When he passed by an ancient forest, Lin Feng couldn't help but stop. He felt that there were a few terrifying auras lying dormant here. There should be experts hiding in the dark. Who is it? Come out, Lin Feng said in a deep voice. Hee, your perception is quite strong. A lovely laughter was heard. Then, a woman in a pink dress walked out. This woman had a graceful figure and was charming and sexy. Her eyes were filled with seduction. Demon! Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. The woman was a demon, but Lin Feng couldn't tell which branch of the demon race she belonged to. However, he could tell that she was extremely terrifying. Her aura made Lin Feng feel somewhat fearful. Of course, this woman was also charming enough. She was like a vixen. Any man would be captivated by this woman. Brat, who are you? You even dared to kill Duguchen? This old bull admires you. Suddenly, another cultivator stepped forward and spoke in a low, muffled voice. This cultivator was also a Yao clan cultivator. However, this Yao clan cultivator was easy to recognize. Because this cultivator had 2 bull horns on his head. They should be cultivators of the Ox Demon clan. Interesting. I never imagined that I would actually be able to witness the scene of Duguchen being killed during the Starry Sky trials. Truly interesting to the extreme. The third cultivator stepped forward. He was a man so handsome that he looked somewhat demonic. He was also a demon. The 3 of them walked out and surrounded Lin Feng. 9 prefectures. Lin Feng, how should I address the 3 of you? Lin Feng raised his eyebrows and asked. He did not sense any hostility from the 3 of them. Otherwise, he wouldn't have revealed his identity to these people. He was originally a cultivator of 9 regions. It was said that the 9 prefectures had already declined. I didn't expect that there would be such a prodigy like you. The woman asked in surprise. Lin Feng smiled faintly and said, "A land of riches produces heroes, while a land of poverty produces true dragons." Lin Feng's words were truly domineering. The three of them squinted their eyes and carefully sized up Lin Feng. The woman said, "Let me introduce myself. I am Xing Xinyao of the Holy Demon Clan of the Undying Realm." The cultivator with two bullhorns said, "Niu Qintian of the Ox Demon Clan of the Undying Realm." The demonic-looking demon cultivator said, "Situ Nan Shan of the Illusory Demon Clan of the Undying Realm." Lin Feng was shocked. The three of them were actually from the Undying Realm. No wonder their aura was so terrifying. These three were definitely not people to be trifled with. Their cultivation must be extremely terrifying. "Nice to meet you!" Lin Feng cupped his fists. "Nice to meet you!" The three of them also cupped their fists. "It's fate to be able to meet you here. This time, we are planning to explore a secret place. That secret place is filled with danger, but there might be some extraordinary opportunities. I wonder if Brother Lin is interested in exploring that secret place with us?" Xing Xinyao asked. "Oh? A secret place?" Lin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. These three people. He was not familiar with them. If he was scammed by these three, he did not know. The three of them were smiling. They knew that inviting Lin Feng to come in at that moment was a bit rude. It was normal for Lin Feng to be wary. However, that secret place was a place of great danger. They had already seen Lin Feng's powerful strength. If Lin Feng could join their team, it would definitely increase their team's strength. At that time, their chances of success would be much higher. "Can you tell me some information about that secret place in advance?" Lin Feng asked curiously. "Rumor has it that the secret place is where the second medicine god fell." Hee. The second medicine god must have many divine pills and miraculous medicines. There might even be divine pills and miraculous medicines that can directly increase one's cultivation. If we can find them. Niu Qintian grinned. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Currently, Lin Feng's cultivation was at the 6th heavenly layer of the Emperor Realm. With Lin Feng's savings, if he wanted to increase his cultivation level, he couldn't rely on celestial stones or ordinary treasures to do so. Therefore, if Lin Feng wanted to increase his cultivation, he would need to find a better opportunity. However, how could it be so easy to find a better opportunity? Since ancient times, there had been many experts who had difficulty breaking through. They would take the risk and enter various dangerous places to look for opportunities. It was to find these better opportunities to break through. Lin Feng's situation was the same. If Lin Feng could enter the Emperor Realm, his combat strength would definitely increase to an unimaginable level. If Lin Feng did not use any treasures, it would not be a problem for him to deal with a high-level Emperor Realm expert. If he used any treasures, it would not be a problem for him to deal with a sub-immortal. However, if he were to face an immortal, the difference was still huge. Therefore, Lin Feng had to increase his cultivation to the Emperor Realm, or even the Saint Emperor Realm. Only then would he have more confidence when facing an immortal. And the second divine medicine was definitely one of the greatest alchemists in history. An alchemist of this level would definitely have many top-grade immortal pills. He might even have top-grade immortal pills that could increase one's cultivation. If he could find them, it would definitely be beneficial to his cultivation. "All right. I've decided to accept your invitation. I hope we can have a good cooperation," Lin Feng said. Although these three people were powerful, Lin Feng did not know if they would do anything to harm him in the future. Lin Feng naturally hoped that these three people would not do such a thing. However, if they really did attack him, Lin Feng would not be afraid of them. With his methods, it would not be difficult for him to get rid of these three people. With Lin Gongzi joining us, we will be like a tiger that has grown wings. We will definitely be able to return with a full load. Chapter 41-43. The four of them quickly traveled through the mountain forest. Before heading to the medicine god's meteorite, Lin Feng had been indirectly inquiring about the situation in the Undying Realm. After some inquiries, Lin Feng found out. The current Undying Realm was extremely turbulent. It could be described as an undercurrent surging to describe the current situation in the Undying Realm. Especially a few years ago, after the powerhouses sealed in the Divine Stones came out, the Undying Realm became even more chaotic. Among the 72 domains of the Undying Realm, some extremely powerful domains were now openly challenging the Heavenly Court. For example, the Sky Demon Domain, Ancient Demon Domain, and several other forces ruled by the demon race. Another example was the Living Devil Domain and other forces ruled by the demon race. Previously, the Heavenly Court had been suppressing the demon race and the demon race. Now, the demon race and the demon race had experts on their side, and they were the very terrifying kind of experts. So the demon race and the demon race began to fight back. Although the other states were under the jurisdiction of the Heavenly Court, and the other domain lords also obeyed the orders of the Heavenly Emperor. But those domain lords were all overlord-level existences. Most of the time, they had to accept some things outside and some not. Therefore, many domain lords and the Heavenly Emperor were playing tricks. This kind of overt compliance was very common everywhere. Originally, the Heavenly Court was also a centralized power in the Undying Realm. Not to mention other times, just talk about the immemorial era, when the Demon Lord was still one of the big bosses of the Undying Realm, the Heavenly Court was a centralized power. But after the immemorial war, countless powerhouses fell. The cultivation world once again went from its heyday to a period of decline. And at this stage, the Heavenly Court wanted to take advantage of the decline of the major forces to unify the major domains of the Undying Realm, but they were met with the crazy counterattack of the major domains of the Undying Realm. Those forces of the Undying Realm had an ancient inheritance. Even though they had declined, their strength was still not to be underestimated. Therefore, the Heavenly Court made a foolish move. This foolish move made the already declining forces of the Heavenly Court and the 72 domains even worse, suffering heavy casualties. Even now, many forces had not completely recovered. After this unforeseen event, the various domains were very dissatisfied with the Heavenly Court, so they began to overtly comply with the orders of the Heavenly Emperor. Lin Feng learned a lot of useful information from Xing Xinyao and the other two. Soon, Lin Feng would be heading to the Undying Realm. This information was very useful to Lin Feng. In truth, Lin Feng really wanted to overthrow the Heavenly Court. The Heavenly Court had a huge grudge against him. After passing through the canyon ahead, we should be able to reach the medical god's fallen land. 3 days later, Lin Feng and the others arrived in front of a mountain range. Xing Xinyao pointed at a huge canyon in front of them. The canyon exuded an eerie and terrifying aura. This canyon is not simple. Let's be careful, Situ Nanshan said with a frown. Niu Qishan said, "What are you afraid of? No matter what danger you encounter, I, Old Bull, will be there." Niu Qishan had a confident look on his face. This guy's combat power might even be higher than Xing Xinyao and Situ Nanshan. However, he seemed to be a little simple-minded. If they really fought, Lin Feng felt that Niu Qishan might not be a match for Xing Xinyao and Situ Nanshan. The four of them cautiously entered the canyon. When they stepped on the ground of the canyon, a strange light flashed in their eyes. When they stepped on the ground, blood actually seeped out from the ground. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng and the others were shocked. They quickly flew into the air, afraid that there would be some terrifying danger. However, they found that everything was very calm. Everything that happened just now seemed to be an illusion. Is it an illusion? Niu Qishan looked at Situ Nanshan and asked. Situ Nanshan came from the illusory demon clan. This was the first time Lin Feng heard of this clan. However, from the name, Lin Feng felt that this illusory demon clan might have a relatively high attainment in illusion techniques. Of course, this was only Lin Feng's guess. Whether it was true or not, Lin Feng wasn't particularly clear. Situ Nanshan said with a dignified expression, "It doesn't seem to be an illusion. It seems to be real. Let's go down and see what's going on." Everyone nodded and descended. When their feet touched the ground, blood once again seeped out from the ground. Strange. 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 The situation in front of them was simply too strange. It's really strange. Blood seeping out from the ground. I've never seen or heard of such a situation before, Xing Xinya said. Lin Feng said, I'm afraid this place is hiding some unknown danger. Of course, everyone was bold. Since they had come here, they had no intention of leaving. Moreover, they didn't want to take risks to obtain opportunities. How could there be such a good thing in the world? The four of them continued to walk deeper. However, they were now more cautious than before. After coming to such a place, they had to be careful. Otherwise, they wouldn't even know how they died. The four of them gradually went deeper into the canyon. The canyon was very quiet. Apart from their footsteps, there were no other sounds. Listen, footsteps. Suddenly, Lin Feng heard some footsteps and said aloud, Footsteps? Are there? The other three had puzzled expressions. They didn't seem to have heard the footsteps. Soon, Sitananchan said, I also heard the footsteps. It seems to be coming from the depths. Is something coming out? I heard it too, Xing Xinya said. She had a solemn expression as she looked deeper into the canyon. You all heard it. Only I didn't, Niu Qinshan said gloomily. Soon Niu Qinshan cracked open his big mouth and said with a smile, This old bull heard it too, this old bull heard it too. Lin Feng and the other two didn't have the time to pay attention to Niu Qinshan, who was obviously lacking in intelligence. This guy was a typical example of a burly man. They looked deeper into the canyon, waiting for that existence to appear. However, after waiting for a long time, they still didn't see anything coming out from the depths. However, the footsteps were still there, and they were getting closer and closer. This feeling was very strong. Is the passage in the depths so long? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. Huff, 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 huff. At this time, Xing Xinyao's breathing began to quicken. Her originally pink face was now a little red, and her forehead was dripping with fragrant sweat. Something was obviously wrong. What's wrong? Lin Feng looked at Xing Xinyao and asked in confusion. I feel like I can't breathe. Moreover, I can feel a stabbing pain in my heart, Xing Xinyao said with an ugly expression. Something's not right. It seems like the footsteps are affecting us, Situnanchan said with an ugly expression. At this moment, Situnanchan's situation was exactly the same as Xing Xinyao's. His expression was extremely ugly. He was gasping for breath and sweating profusely. His eyes were filled with incomparable pain. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.